this place tonight. 22,000. Bulls have been introduced. Laser show, fireworks, and now the starting lineup for the Charlotte Hornets being introduced, giving us an opportunity to introduce tonight's Jeep Eagles starting matchups. Horace Grant and Johnson start at the top, Doug.
Well, Larry Johnson's minutes are going to be limited down to about 32 because of his back problem and the fact that he does not have full strength in his leg. Pippen and Newman, a good matchup. Cartwright and Mourning, intriguing. Pete Myers, who will be starting in the place of Michael Jordan, will guard Hersey Hawkins, who is getting acclimated to this passing game offense. And then we had Muggsy Bogues and B.J. Armstrong. So some good matchups there. I think, though, this game will be determined by the ability of Charlotte's bench to put pressure on Chicago's bench.
And the officials tonight, Jake O'Donnell, Ed Middleton, and Blaine Reichert, will be calling this game with the striped shirts. They came out with new red NBA official jackets tonight, so they're ready to get this season underway also. The two coaches tonight, Phil Jackson, what can you say? He needs 60 wins to get 300. They'll be harder to come by this year. And Phil Jackson is assisted by Jim Clemens, Johnny Bach, and Tex Winter. And Alan Bristow is the head man at Charlotte, entering his first full year as Charlotte head coach. Alan Bristow, a lot of people wonder about his experience. Can he take the team to the next level? I thought his remark about that was interesting in the Charlotte press today. He said the only way to answer questions is to do it, is to coach, to get the team to the playoffs, and to move along. So there you see a good-looking back of the head of Alan Bristow, the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets eliminated Boston last year, played the Knicks tough, and a lot of people think that they're one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the Eastern Conference this year.
Well, I would agree with that on paper. I still worry a little bit about their front line. They're going to do a lot of depending on Kenny Gaddison and also LeBron Ellis. Those two guys are going to have to play well. They have great shooting off the bench in Del Curry and Eddie Johnson. We should mention tonight now Scottie Pippen playing with a very sore foot. He had foot surgery and wrist surgery. He's not 100%. He twisted a little bit yesterday in practice. And he's also got a little touch of the flu right now, so we'll have to keep our eye on how strong Scottie Pippen is tonight in the first ball game.
And the answer to a trivia question in future years will be this young man, Pete Myers, 5-year NBA veteran, drafted by the Bulls in '86, played with 5 NBA teams, 1 CBA, 2 years in Europe. You know a lot about him because you coached him early.
Pete played for me when he was a rookie. He was Michael's backup then. Very quick, takes the ball to the basket, doesn't shoot it well, but can get to the line, and a very, very good defender.
Muggsy Bogues, all 5 foot 3 1/2 inches of it, gives to Larry Johnson, grandmama of the $84 million contract. He opens scoring 2-0 Charlotte.
Concerns for Larry Johnson is that he can forget about his injury and just play through it. Right now he's been thinking a little about his game rather than reacting.
Looking to go to Horace Grant, who has the height advantage over power forward Larry Johnson. Grant pounding it into the paint. In and out of there. Rebound Johnny Newman. He's the quick forward, the slasher, the scorer. Ahead to Larry Johnson. The lay-in is for...
No one protected back that time. Horace Grant took the shot. Larry Johnson released. Some guards got to pick him up. Horace could not get there soon enough.
The Bulls often struggled with Michael off the floor in terms of leadership and how to run this triple post offense. Here's Scottie Pippen. Tremendous pressure on him this year. Shot clock to 6. The penetration. He is fouled by Alonzo Mourning, unless someone got him earlier.
Boy, that was a big-time move by Scottie Pippen. He took the ball with his left hand to the basket. And then at the last minute, when he saw the contact, he switches it to his right, Bob. We're going to see this now. Look, he's left. He sees Mourning. He switches it to the right, uses his body, and gets the foul. Now, Mourning getting in foul trouble could really hurt them. Remember, we talked about them being a little lean on their front line. So we have to watch now the front line foul trouble, and can Chicago continue to attack there.
Mourning got him, but so did Larry Johnson way before the play, and they called the personal on Larry Johnson as Pippen goes to the line. Bulls struggled at the free throw line last year, and this will be an area that the Bulls will have to score in this year. One thing I will always remember of the Michael Jordan era, late in a ball game, Michael would get to the line, forget how everybody else shot free throws. He'd win the game there if he needed to.
No question. See, Scottie's a 66% free throw shooter last year.
Muggsy Bogues on the run. Nice dig. Larry Johnson, 6-0. This is exactly what Phil Jackson and his coaches hoped to avoid, was an early run by the Charlotte Hornets here to shorten the Chicago Bulls.
Well, they want to jump on them quickly. They want to put pressure on them. See if Cartwright can get another foul on Alonzo Mourning.
Horace Grant rattles it home. The assist goes to Bill Cartwright. Bill Cartwright missed the first 6 preseason games. He's been playing hurt too. Scott Williams is on injured list. Will be back in about 4 weeks. He did not have to have surgery, but the center core is depleted. Stacy Keene also playing with soreness. Will Perdue will be seeing some action, and Bill Wennington has been signed up front for the Chicago Bulls. Morning. Hard to the hoop, blocked from behind by Pete Myers. 15 on the shot clock.
See, Alonzo Mourning had the jump shot, wanted to get an easier one. Bill Cartwright will give him that medium-range jump shot. Alonzo's a very good shooter, just needs to pull up and take that one. When he puts it on the floor, they're going to give big-time help in the lane.
Muggsy Bogues looks to Johnny Newman, or Hersey Hawkins. Hersey Hawkins passing away. Hawkins, of course, came from Philadelphia in a 3-way trade as Kendall Gill went out west. And Hersey Hawkins has moved in this lineup. An outstanding shooter, but having, as you pointed out, a little problem acclimating to the passing game offense here in Charlotte.
Yeah, he doesn't want to take too many shots, so he's been running away from his shot on occasion, so he needs to look for the shot when it's there and take it.
Cartwright calls the foul. There's Hawkins trying to penetrate.
See, Pete Myers is a good defender. He stripped that ball on the way. That's 3 fouls in this possession now for the Chicago Bulls. So 3 quick fouls. We have to talk about foul trouble for them. Bill Cartwright has not played much in preseason, Bob, and his conditioning is in question. So we'll have to see how long he can play along that front line, especially chasing an agile guy like Alonzo Mourning.
Foul call. Larry Johnson hard to the hoop. Doesn't fall Scottie Pippen on the run. Bulls hoping to get something going running here tonight.
Going right to Horace Grant. He's had 2 shot attempts.
B.J. Armstrong from Horace Grant. And we have a 6-4 Hornets lead. They jumped out 6-0. 9:41 to go in the first quarter from the Charlotte Coliseum.
Well, since now the emotion is going out of the game, guys are getting a little winded now.
Hersey Hawkins had to double clutch on that, wanted the foul. Bulls with a chance to tie it. Hoping to stop the bleeding. Pippen from 18. It doesn't go. Rebound, Johnny Newman. Newman got that quick flash to the hoop. He can penetrate and score.
Bob, it'll be interesting to watch tonight. Scottie Pippen is going to be called upon to bring this ball up the floor a lot. He's not going to be able to get out and run lanes like he used to. They're double teaming, giving Pete Myers a shot. Let's see how many easy baskets or opportunities Scottie Pippen gets tonight.
Look at Bogues blow by B.J. Armstrong. The block from Pippen, the loose ball. Bogues still struggling for it. It went off the hands of Pete Myers, and it belongs to the Charlotte Hornets.
Scottie Pippen with sensational block. I mean, B.J. Armstrong just was nailed to the floor there with the crossover by Muggsy Bogues, but the great finish of Scottie Pippen to come over and swipe that shot away.
8:50 to go first quarter. 8-4 Charlotte. Newman comes off the screen by Mourning. He misses everything. Air ball, Johnny Newman. Chicago Bulls without Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan at his home in Chicago tonight, watching this ball game. Oh, what must be going through the mind.
And it seems so strange, Bob, not to see him out here right now. He's missed about 4 games last year and not many in his entire career.
Foul on Johnny Newman.
And you're just so used to seeing number 23 with the tongue hanging out and doing what it takes to get done.
I asked Jerry Krause, I said, you know, Pete Myers is starting. Let's face it, of course, he's not Michael Jordan. What are you going to do? Trades in the work? He said, you know, we don't even know exactly what we've got here, as you were pointing out. We probably won't be making any moves until we try to find out what we really need to do and what kind of character this team is going to develop. What its personality to be. What will it be minus Michael Jordan?
Only going to take time.
B.J. Armstrong 2 for 2 tonight. Hornets 8-6. Larry Johnson missing from the perimeter. Scottie Pippen with the rebound.
You see how Scottie's having to handle this ball and create. He's not going to get many easy shot opportunities.
Pete Myers, nice move, flashing into the paint. Gets the lay-in. He gets his first 2. He's wearing a good number, though, number 20.
That's right. He's smart enough. He played for me. He knows number 20 is very important to me.
He's got him a lot of play.
That's right.
8-2 Chicago run. The Bulls have tied it at 8. They've settled down, showing some poise here, because you know there's tremendous pressure on this team, despite the fact they're the 3-time defending champions. As B.J. Armstrong travels, 7:34 to go in the quarter.
I think B.J. is going to be better off when you play against the Muggsy Bogues. You really can't put the ball on the floor. You can't run screen and roll. He's too small to screen. he's going to be able to get shots if he'll go off the ball. Both of his shots have been moving off the ball and being created and hitting the jump shot. I don't think he's going to be able to handle the ball around Muggsy.
Muggsy's going to have to play a lot of minutes. They've got trouble with the backup point position at Charlotte. Bogues missing off the dribble. Scottie Pippen with another rebound. He has 3 already in this game. Offensive foul, Pippen. He ran into Johnny Newman. And the bench is going to be an interesting question as we'll get into that in a moment. Let's look at this offensive foul again.
Johnny Newman steps in. Scotty lowers his shoulder just enough to get the foul.
7:18 remaining in the first quarter. The season opener in the NBA on TNT. It's tied at 8.
National Organization for Women.
In the eternal search for the truth, you're bound to step.
Early in this game, Bulls shooting 57%. They've turned it over 2 times.
Let's talk about in the 3 championship years the consistency of the Chicago Bulls. Look at this. Points against their +9 point differential, +10.6. Look at the field goal percentage. Turnovers, 14, 13, 14. They are #1 offensive rebounding. That's how championships are built.
Hersey Hawkins pulls up from 3. 11-8. Hersey Hawkins drains one from 3-point land. He is a great shooter.
Now credit that one to the Charlotte bench. They set a play up to get Hersey Hawkins a good shot, get him in the flow of things. Excellent call by Alan Bristow.
Horace Grant being defended. Here's the double team. Hawkins runs over Grant with 10 on the shot clock. Hawkins coming away with it, fouled by Pete Myers.
See, what you're seeing here is the ball went in a post to Horace Grant, and Pete Myers was the one that initiated the play, and you're going to see Horace is going to try to make the move. The double team's going to come back. You see Hawkins knocking the ball loose. See, Pete Myers are going to give him that outside shot. That's where you miss the perimeter shooting.
Johnny Newman in the corner, defended by Pippen. 10 on the shot clock. Larry Johnson's taken 3 shots from the perimeter. Certainly not what Bristow wants out of his team leader, the main man here, along with Alonzo Mourning.
Remember now, he made the first one. Sometimes that's the opposing coach's greatest thrill for him to make the first one. Maybe he'll live out there the rest of the night. Now that's the shot B.J. Armstrong will get right there, coming off screens, staggered double screen, spotting up, getting the open J.
Hornets by 1. Hornets by 3. I call that big man shooting from the outside syndrome the Charles Oakley syndrome.
They all like to slide out there. But you know what? As much as you get beat up in the post, and I can understand a little bit, let me get out of here where I at least get a good look at it.
Give me some shots. Pippen gets inside, beats Larry Johnson on the baseline. Good feed, and it's Hornets 13, Bulls 12. 5:45 remaining in the first quarter.
You know, a guy we have not talked much about yet is Alonzo Mourning, who's taking the jump shot there right now. But that's a quick shot that I think he can get any time. He is not yet in game shape. He's had knee problems in preseason. He's not yet at his best.
Pippen with 5 rebounds early in this ball game. Bulls an opportunity to take the lead. Armstrong and the foul. The Bulls grab the lead. They're going to call Muggsy Bogues for the personal. Gives us a moment to talk about Muggsy Bogues and the problem that Charlotte has at point guard. Tony Bennett's the backup. He's injured. They signed Steve Henson from Atlanta, but this is a team without really a tested backup point guard.
Right, and when we talked to Alan Bristow today, he said, you know, that we might go without a point guard. I might put Hersey Hawkins, Del Curry, and Eddie Johnson, 3 shooters on the floor with Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson, and just say, look, we're going to try to push the pace. We're going to try to score against you and try to outscore you rather than stop you. So we'll have to wait and see if we see that tonight.
And now the NBA debut of number 7, a man they hope will become as famous as the other famous number of 23 in Chicago. We're talking about Tony Kukoc, who comes in here as generally considered the best player in the world outside the NBA. But in the meantime, Charlotte gets the jam. It's tied at 15. Kukoc at 6'10". Number 7 with the ball. Doug, this guy has got a lot of talent.
Excellent passer. Very good deep shooter right now. A step slow defensively, trying to catch the speed of the NBA game. Right now, defensively is where he struggles. Now, the Bulls like to pressure after made field goals many instances. They tried to do it against Muggsy Bogues. He split it for an easy score. I don't think they can press Muggsy Bogues.
Their Kukoc is trying to guard Johnny Newman, who's lightning quick. Got a test early on defense for the 6'10" Kukoc. Newman faced up with him one-on-one right now. Into Mourning, who pushed off Cartwright, got away with it. He gets the lay-in from Johnny Newman.
Smart to get him involved.
Myers misses. Horace Grant doing what he does best, offensively rebounding.
Look at him come right back at you, though. The Hornets are really looking to push after him.
They got a jump ball. Tony Kukoc, we saw him at the lineup, by the way, wearing number 7 out there, standing beside Stacey King, Bulls backup center, and who was taller?
Yeah, Tony Kukoc is around 6'10", 6'11", and he's bulked up. He's thrown about 20 pounds. Now, part of that is the weightlifting program with Al Vermeil and the staff this summer. Also, he had his tonsils removed. He had all kinds of tonsillitis and infections, and I think the combination of those have helped him put on 20 pounds of muscle. He's eating better now, and you're seeing the change in his body. He's adjusting now to some new muscles.
And looking at the bench of the Bulls, here comes the rookie Corey Blunt into the ball game. Bulls number 1 draft choice out of Cincinnati. He's a big one, 6'10", 242. Steve Kerr also comes in, replacing B.J. Armstrong. So now we're going to get a look at the Bulls bench for 93.
Let's take a look now. Scottie Pippen used to keep the second team afloat when Michael used to rest. Well, now Michael's resting. Who will keep this second team afloat? Really, you've got Billy Cartwright is the only starter on the floor right now. Excuse me, Pete Myers is out there also. So 2 starters left.
Inside to Corey Blunt. Goaltending on Mourning, count it. Corey Blunt talking again to Jerry Krause. He says he really likes the defensive potential of Corey Blunt. Says he's been impressed and surprised, even though he liked him in the draft, with the quickness of his feet.
They like him rebounding defensively. Right now, offensive-wise, he's not where he likes to be, but they'd like for him to do the dirty work, a lot like Scott Williams.
Beautiful pass inside.
See, that's where Tony Kukoc got lost. It's hard for him to play the speed of the cut that you have here in the NBA.
Kenny Gaddison made that pass. He's off the bench. He's the 6'8", 255-pounder from Old Dominion in his 8th year. Pete Myers is blocked. Here is Tony Bennett, playing on a sore left knee, backup point guard.
This is what they got Hawkins for right there.
He screened 2 threes already.
So you got Hersey Hawkins, you have Del Curry, you have Eddie Johnson. 3 excellent three-point shooters to space the floor. This is a very potent and dangerous Charlotte team if they'll rebound.
Attractive team, and the Hornets take the lead by 1. 3:29 to go, first quarter.
This program is offered.
Hornets lead on the strength of a Hersey Hawkins 3-point shot. Now let's walk you through. This is Pete Myers. He's going to be on the cut. He's going to get the shot. The shot goes up and it's blocked, and we'll stop it right there. Now here's Pete Myers right here. Here's Hersey Hawkins. He's going to run out on the break. Pete Myers is a little tired right now. He cannot get back defensively. The importance of spacing the floor. Now you see Pete Myers right here, and Hersey Hawkins is over here out of the picture. Tony Bennett finds him, and that's his second 3-point shot here in this first period.
And the Chicago Bulls have Stacey King on the floor for Bill Cartwright. So it's King, Blunt, Pippen, who's back out here with a very short rest, Kukoc, and Steve Kerr for the Bulls. Kukoc from 17. This is his first NBA field goal attempt.
See, this is the lineup now for Chicago. You've got Scottie Pippen as a big guard and Kukoc as a forward.
Tony Bennett, good perimeter shooter.
Doesn't have his legs yet, though, Bob. Only 1 practice in the last 2.5 weeks.
Pippen is fouled in the open court by Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett just does not have his legs yet, and shooter is the first thing that go. When you don't have your legs, all your shots are short. So Muggsy will probably be back here in a couple minutes. I'd like to buy some time here. Muggsy was a little winded. This is the first game of the year. A lot of excitement.
The Hornets are hurting the Bulls with a fast break, which is something they wanted to get started early.
They want to attack for 48 minutes. They think that they can wear them down.
Steve Kerr, good perimeter shooter, is ranger for Chicago.
He has fit in very well in this offense.
Steve Kerr, of course, out of Arizona, 6th year in the league. Miles by Johnny Newman in double figures. He's got 10.
Every year, Johnny Newman says, I come to camp, they look for my replacement. He said, they still can't get me out of this lineup.
5 out of 7. Started at Cleveland, played with the Knicks. Pippen has it stripped away, 14 on the shot clock. Hawkins on the floor along with Mourning, Kenny Gaddison, and we're going to get another substitution early in the ball game. And here, now get this, talk about a deep bench. You look up here and just walking out on the floor comes Del Curry, who can drain it.
Yes, Del Curry, now you step in, you take Hersey, you give him a rest. And you come right in. As we see Tony Kukoc with a nice move in the lane, a little jump hook. Now you remember he's left-handed, so that was his strong hand.
And remember, that's his first NBA field goal. We're setting some historical precedent here tonight.
See if they double team Mourning, give Stacey King some help.
They do. Kerr gets there late. Rebound Kukoc. Kukoc, excellent passer, pretty good defender, good rebounder. Got a lot of game to work with. Not tough inside, however, despite being 6'10". Corey Blunt, the rookie, loses it out of bounds. It is Bulls by 1. Minute 57 to go in the quarter. The 4th Chicago turnover.
Here comes now Eddie Johnson, another shooter. Let's see who he's going to come in here for now.
They only have one ball. This will be interesting.
Well, he's going to take Alonzo Mourning out of the game. So now they have Kenny Gaddison really is their only big player. Newman, Curry, Eddie Johnson, and Tony Bennett. So this is the Golden State Warriors East right now.
You got that right. Here's Gaddison. He's fouled, counts the basket. It is a quick team. Tough to defend this team.
Well, now what you say is, if you're Phil Jackson, you're saying you're looking to your coaches, do I go small and match to them, or can we take advantage with our size? We'll have to wait and see now if they can post the Bulls up. Kukoc coming right back in, and he's going to get Stacey King. Phil Jackson realizing that just too much quickness on the floor right now. He'll have to wait for Stacey King to be matched up against either a Larry Johnson or an Alonzo Mourning.
And a good point here early is that Scottie Pippen here in the first quarter now has 2 personal fouls. Gaddison with the free throw. Hornets regain the lead, 27-25. Minute 45 to go in the ball game. Next foul by the Hornets, by the way, will put the Bulls at the line. Hornets have 4. Bulls already in the penalty. B.J. Armstrong. Pippen from long range. Minute and 30 seconds to go in the first period from Charlotte. Johnny Newman, Del Curry, Eddie Johnson. Well, they can all burn you.
We talk about floor spacing, Bob. Talk about floor spacing with this team. They should play 4 guys outside the three-point line, 1 in, and penetrate, kick, and look for shots.
Boy, that works great with the passing game.
Yes, it does.
This many shooters.
Now, see the one thing, Scottie Pippen, every shot he's taken has been a perimeter jump shot, other than the nice drive where he got fouled and he missed both free throws. He's not getting an easy basket.
Kukoc going to the hoop, doesn't get it. Tony Bennett running with the Hornets.
Keep around Eddie Johnson.
Gaddison travels. Chicago ball. 47 seconds left in the quarter. Will Perdue will make his first entrance into the ball game. Larry Johnson coming back in for Charlotte. Corey Blunt will sit down, and Jeff Newman will get arrested. Newman had an excellent, Johnny Newman, an excellent first quarter with 10 points, 2 rebounds.
See, I think B.J. Armstrong can work against Del Curry. Let's see if they try to free him up off a screen to get a shot.
Pippen defended by Eddie Johnson. Short arms it. Perdue gets the rebound. Armstrong for 3. Big bucket from B.J. Armstrong. And Armstrong early in this ballgame in the first quarter has 10, 12 points. Hornets by 1. Looking for the last shot of the first period. Will Perdue comes out to double. Bennett in trouble. That keyed the turnover.
Well, they're doing a good job keeping Scotty away from the basket. B.J. Armstrong, though, is having a great first quarter. Another turnover now. They're going to get another shot at it.
Perdue kicks it to Pippen, who almost had the chance for the shot. Bulls come back strong here and take a 1-point lead to end the first period of the Michael Jordan-less era. Hornets had jumped out to a 6-0 lead, but B.J. Armstrong with 14 points leading the Bulls. 14 points for B.J. Armstrong. Bulls lead it by 1 at the end of the first period of play. Coming up next, a doubleheader to kick off the NBA season. Gary Bender and Hubie Brown are in the Forum in Los Angeles. The Phoenix Suns and Charles Barkley with the Los Angeles Lakers rebuilding with youth out there. And B.J. 6 out of 6 from the field. And speaking of point guards, Bogues is now back in. No turnovers when he was on the floor. In 4 minutes with him resting, 4 Charlotte turnovers.
Now, when we talked about the point guard situation, Tony Bennett just not ready yet, so that's an area we're going to have to keep our eye on the rest of the ball game. What happens when Muggsy Bogues takes a rest?
Kukoc.
Let's see if B.J. can work himself off the screen and get open.
Horace Grant, nice drive, misses the lay-in. Will Perdue with the rebound, and we're going to get a foul.
See, this lineup that's on the floor right now for Charlotte cannot rebound. And the Bulls have Will Perdue, they have Horace Grant, and they have Kukoc. You have 6'10", 6'11", 7 feet. They must take advantage of this short lineup right now. They cannot allow Alan Bristow to rest Alonzo Mourning and keep this small lineup on the floor.
Will Perdue struggling at the free throw line last year, only shot 60%, misses his first one here. Will Perdue in the preseason, however, has shot 73%, 17 of 22 from the floor. The Bulls are going to have to get production from Perdue with Scott Williams injured, with Cartwright aging, and Perdue with a new contract. He's going to have to get something done this year, his 6th in the NBA.
Well, see, with Alonzo Mourning out and allow Phil Jackson to rest Bill Cartwright, he'd like to put him in to go against Mourning, so that's why you've got to be able to rush this lineup back on the floor, this big lineup.
Perdue stepped out, and Gaddison slips in the opening for the jam. It's tied at 31. Opening moment, second quarter. Steve Kerr, defended by Del Curry. Almost stolen by Gaddison. Perdue loses the handle. Larry Johnson. Muggsy Bogues. Hook pass is going to go out of bounds. Chicago ball.
Muggsy Bogues shot 29% in the preseason. You can see right now he's just not comfortable taking the outside shot. He had it, tried to make a play that was not there.
B.J. Armstrong, post up Muggsy. B.J. can't post up many players in the league. He has 16, 33-31. B.J. has not missed from the floor. 7 out of 7 tonight.
You can see the Bulls' strategy. Push Muggsy Bogues to the outside of the floor. Don't let him get into the middle. So B.J. really shading him to the outside to get help.
Steve Kerr called for the foul. 10:36 to go, first half. That's the team's first in this period, and Steve Kerr's first.
See if they get Del Curry involved here against Steve Kerr. He's really only had one shot while he's on the floor.
15 on the shot clock. Now 10. Into Larry Johnson. Eddie Johnson. In the paint.
There's those shooters. You double team down. You got Curry and Eddie Johnson on the floor right now. If you're going to double, it's got to be with Muggsy Bogues' man.
Grant hook pass to Kerr. Nice play by both.
Steve Kerr's nosebleed. They're going to have to stop the game and get him out of there. I don't know if the referees see it yet, but he must have got popped in the nose. He's got blood coming out of his right nostril.
Larry Johnson in the corner, defended by Grant. Pull-up jumper. Perdue with the rebound. Out to Kukoc. Open floor. Lost the handle.
Now they're upset here, but you heard Eddie Middleton say, I called it because he lost it, meaning I was going to let the play go. Once there was a turnover, that meant it was a foul committed when he got hit on the arm, so that's why the late whistle was
on Del Curry.
All right, watch Del Curry here reach in right there, right across the wrist. The ball runs loose, and once Muggsy Bogues picks it up, then the whistle goes.
Steve Kerr wipes away the bloody nose. Must be okay, probably just a scratch as opposed to a nosebleed, and stays in the ball game. Bulls lead it by 2, 9:43 to go in the first half. Tony Kukoc. They call one of his many nicknames is the Spider of Split. He was born in Split, at the time Yugoslavia, Split, Croatia now. So the Spider of Split is on the floor. That's even tough to say. I better be careful.
You're on your own there, Bob.
Perdue missing on the baseline. Here's Bogues running. Incredible quickness.
I tell you, that's a nightmare. You're B.J. Armstrong. You got this guy coming at you, and you know you can't stop him. You don't have that kind of quickness. There's no one in the league that's going to stop him in the open floor. If you're B.J., what you have to do is continue to try to punish him on the one end where he's got 16. Look at this crossover. This is Tim Hardaway kind of crossover dribble, something we'll also be missing this year on TNT.
Out for the year is Tim Hardaway. And Bugsy strips BJ and draws the foul. Bogues has made an impact since he came off the bench. No turnovers while he was on the floor. 4 and 4 minutes while he rested. He's going to have to play a lot of minutes.
Strips him down low very nicely. Now B.J. doing a good job hustling back. Here comes Steve Kerr to give help, and B.J. waited too long to reach in, ruling it was a 2-shot foul. So B.J. You know, in retrospect, probably should have grabbed him at the half-court line. It would have been sideline out of bounds.
That's 2 on B.J. Armstrong. Pippen also with 2. New video out, by the way, of Muggsy Bogues called Don't Tell Me No. Imagine that, 5'3" in the NBA. You know, how many times has he been rejected? At the conclusion of tonight's game, Doug Collins and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. Muggsy Bogues out of that Washington-Baltimore high school system where so many great players have come from, was a friend of Reggie Lewis in high school.
Well, I think he played with Reggie Lewis, Reggie Williams, David Wingate. I think they all went to that same high school, yes.
Then Wake Forest, stayed in North Carolina, and he's a big hero here in Charlotte. Grant from the perimeter. Rebound, Del Curry. Hornets by 1. Purdue keeps it alive. Armstrong comes away with it. Nice lob pass to Pippen. Gets the follow.
Scotty looked like he blocked his own shot there. Looked like he went up to shoot. It looked like he almost blocked his own shot on the rim.
I'm so good, I blocked my own shot.
Alonzo Mourning's just not right yet, Bob. I can see, you know, I remember watching him in the playoffs last year. He just does not have that bounce in his step right now. So that knee must be a little bit sore than what he wants to let on.
Yeah, you can tell when he runs that he's light on the right leg. 38-37 Hornets. Pippen playing on a sore ankle.
Yeah, Scotty's got a sore ankle, a little bit of touch of the flu.
Horace Grant with 5 on the shot clock. Pippen with the offensive board, out of bounds, Chicago ball. Grant only 2 for 7 from the floor.
And I think Pippen is 2 for 6, so 4 for 13 from your guys who you expect to score. Had it not be for B.J. Armstrong with 16 points, the Bulls would be in a big hole right now. He's kept them in this game.
Opening night in the NBA, 13 games. We'll keep you posted. Steve Kerr hits the 3. Count the basket and the foul. It's a foul. I think it's on Eddie Johnson. Yes. An opportunity for a 4-point conversion here.
It's going to be a foul off the ball on Eddie Johnson. I think he just threw Scottie Pippen out of there. See, we get a look at it. Now we see Scottie posting up underneath, and right there is the push after the shot. Steve Kerr has come in and played very well. What's that, 7 points off the bench for Steve Kerr?
Yeah, excellent outside shooter, and that's a shooting foul, so it is a 4-point opportunity. Kerr hits the 3, and Scottie Pippen goes up to the line. An unusual way to convert 4.
You look now, Chicago's got a pretty potent team on the floor. Pippen and Grant and Steve Kerr and B.J. Armstrong. B.J. 16 and Steve Kerr says they have 23 points out of the 40 in their backcourt right now.
Pippen 0 for 3 from the line. Foul called, and also Jake O'Donnell talking to the media assembled on the baseline. Speaking of media, Charlotte is just drenched in media for this opening game. This game is also being televised back to Japan by the NHK network. We have media, camera crews, people from the New York Times are here, from Los Angeles Times are covering this game, all looking to see the Bulls without Mike. Purdue kept it alive, but couldn't hold it, and Curry takes it to the hoop. Tied at 40.
Larry Johnson had a wide-open layup and took it to the other side of the basket. Really made it a more difficult shot. Nice hustle play by Del Curry.
Horace Grant under pressure. Tough shot.
See, no rebounding, though, Bob.
It was blocked, no foul. Grant's glasses knocked off. Del Curry missing. Rebound Pippen.
Curry never got the handle on that.
B.J. Armstrong open for 3. Pippen, good inside position. Count the basket. 3-point opportunity for Scotty.
See, they're the rebounding right now. Chicago getting on the offensive boards, which is one of their strengths last year, #1 in the NBA. And they're getting second and third opportunities. Now, Scottie Pippen, 11 rebounds, still 6:46 remaining here in the second quarter.
The Bulls up by 2. Only 2 points and 1 rebound early in this ballgame.
He does make a nice block here on Horace Grant, denies him the dunk. Horace now 2 for 9 from the floor, which now leads to a fast break opportunity for Charlotte, we see B.J. with a spot-up three-pointer that he misses, and Scottie Pippen with a strong rebound, his 11th rebound of the game, the nice kiss off the glass, three-point play opportunity. And if I said to you, Bob Neal, Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant were combined 5 for 16, we got 6:46 remaining here, would you think the Bulls would be up 2 shooting a free throw to go up 3?
I'd say sure, because Michael's got 12 points already.
That's right, yeah.
But the man has been B.J. Armstrong with 16, and, of course, the offensive boards and defensive boards. The Bulls beating Charlotte in their weakest area, rebounding.
Well, remember we talked about their defense, too. In the preseason, the Bulls averaged 100 points a game. Okay, Scottie misses. He's now 0 for 3 from the line. They now have 42 points. They're looking at a 55-point half. That's too many points.
Hersey Hawkins still struggling, but he is going to bring some offense to this team, despite his struggle early. Pippen's pull-up jumper goes down.
Scottie's starting to warm it up a little bit.
He has 11 rebounds, 8 points for Scottie Pippen. Defending Del Curry. He launched that from three-point land. Pippen out on the break from Armstrong. Big jam. Almost missed it because Muggsy Bogues came there to bother him. 9-0 Chicago run. Bulls by 6.
How did it start? Quick outside jump shots, no rebounding. Bulls running out early offense. See, another jump shot here. Now they're living on the perimeter. I think you've got to attack the Bulls front line inside. You've got to get the ball to Mourning. You've got to let him go against Cartwright, Larry Johnson inside. All of Larry Johnson's damage has been on the perimeter shooting jump shots.
He has 8 points. Horace Grant from 8. Bulls starting to attack the hoop from within 8-10 feet. 6-point lead for Chicago. Two-time defending world champions. That's an offensive foul. Wave it away.
See, they're going through Del Curry right now to get him a lot of shots, and his quick release jumper is just not there on the evening. We got Larry Johnson and Pippen now going at each other. A little feistiness here in the first night of the season.
That foul was called on Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson in a bad mood. He's got a sore back from a herniated disc. And we're going to get double technical called by Jake O'Donnell on both players. What that means, even though you think, well, it's nullifying, it means that each will be carrying a unsportsmanlike technical. If they get into it again, they'll throw them out of the game. Now they've called one on Mourning. These two teams, despite the Bulls having an 18-3 series advantage, Charlotte beat the Bulls down here in Charlotte in a game we televised late in the season last year to knock the Bulls out of an opportunity to have the best record in the East and home court advantage, etc., in what was a key late season game. And they are already developing somewhat of a rivalry, if you can say that a young team like Charlotte can have one with a 3-time world champ. There is no love lost.
I agree. Now, Bob, one thing we ought to talk about here is they have made the penalties much stiffer for leaving the bench. So as you saw the coaches, they were talking to the guys about stay on the bench. The fine now is $2,500 fine for leaving the bench area, up from $500 last year. And if any person like Greg Anthony last year in street goes out, you're talking about suspension and a major fine, $10,000. So they're really trying to keep guys on the bench area. I saw both coaches motioning to their players, stay in the bench area.
Bulls with their biggest lead of the game, 49-42, but the turnover gives the ball back to the Charlotte Hornets.
See if Alonzo Mourning can get a touch this time down the floor, Bob. They really have not gotten him involved.
Larry Johnson backing in against Grant. Muggsy Bogues running things. Go back to Johnson again. Pounds in over the double team. Big bucket and a tough one from Grandmama.
You got to punish inside. You can't win the game shooting all jump shots. The jump shots will be there if you get the ball inside.
Pete Myers back in for Chicago. Lobs to B.J. Armstrong. Posting Muggs. Muggsy Bogues.
Boy, he's killing him. What is it, 20 points or 19 points for B.J.? Wow.
They're going back to Johnson. He's fouled on the drive. Let's see if they decide to give him the basket. Jake O'Donnell hasn't decided yet. I would say no, but let's see.
I think they've wiped it off.
They're going to play it on the side. Yes, the basket wiped away.
Rule is, do you take a dribble after the foul? I think they ruled that there was the bump, and then Larry Johnson put it on the floor one time. That takes away the discontinue.
Both teams will go into the penalty on the next foul call with 4:44 to go in the second quarter. Big pick set by Mourning. Back to him on the give and go.
You got to get the big man involved. I watched too many of their games last year in the playoffs.
Armstrong gets ahead of both. Tough off the screen because Mourning was windmilling at him, and B.J. Armstrong has a Jordan-like 21 points.
He's only missed about 2 shots that I can count him. I know the 1-3. I don't know if he's missed another one other than the free throw.
MJ, BJ, I don't know. Foul on Pete Myers. B.J. Armstrong, you know, among other reasons, B.J. Armstrong will have to penetrate more, but B.J. Armstrong will have a chance to show some of the creativity in his game because he won't be the waiter for Michael Jordan, so to speak.
Well, so much of his game was spotting up, coming off screens for the penetration of Pippen and Jordan. Without those guys, he's going to be looked upon to create more shot opportunities. And from the looks of this, B.J.'s off to a big year. He's worked hard in the offseason. He's about 15 pounds stronger in his upper body. And I think he's going to need this as the season goes on because they're going to expect big minutes and points from him this year.
He looks like he's a full 17, 18 years old now that he's muscled up some. One of the youngest appearing players in the league. Kukoc gets into the ball game for Pete Myers. Tony Kukoc. He has been a project for Jerry Krause. Bulls drafted him back in 90. Played on world championship teams. Most people thought the best player in the world outside of the NBA.
See, that'll drive you crazy. You got an 80% free throw shooter, 88% free throw shooter at the line. You get a lane violation, and you take away a point. That just...
Spoken like a coach does.
Oh, it's, there's certain things that you just go crazy about.
Horace Grant with 10 on the shot clock. Pippen gets a big pick from Cartwright, and then the pass to Horace Grant. Nice look on the offense that
Chicago looks very crisp right now. Their bench came in, did a good job, and they're playing very well right now. They've quietly moved it up to an 8-point game. Charlotte looks a little out of sync, and they've taken the crowd completely out of the ball game.
22,000 people. Raucous building. Wild. Kenny Gaddison walked out of there. Grant and Kukoc. 3 on the shot clock. Hawkins nails it. It's a 2. He stepped on the line.
See, Scotty's in a quick post-up. If they'll get it to him, he can go right at Hersey Hawkins.
They do. He does. And is fouled by Hersey.
See, Hawkins can't play him. Scotty's at 6'7" with the long arms. And the important thing now is, though, Scotty's got to convert his free throws. He's 0 for 3. And if you're going to get to the line 10, 11 times a ball game, you got to shoot up there to the 75%. Otherwise, it's almost like a turnover.
Bob Neal, Doug Collins coming to you from One Hive Drive in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Hornets and the Bulls in the TNT season opener. Bulls 56-49, 3:13 remaining in the game. Pippen now with 11 points and 12 rebounds. B.J. Armstrong has been lighting it up for Chicago. He has 21 points. Alonzo Mourning offensively has been held in check tonight. Has a sore right knee. You can see that he has trouble moving.
Oh, great pass.
Muggsy Bogues to Gaddison.
Kenny Gaddison cut right behind the defense.
Lob pass. Pippen with the jam for B.J. Armstrong. Track meet now. We have a timeout on the floor with 2:55 to go in the first half. The Bulls up by 7 points. And they're trying to decide who called the timeout, which will matter later in the game. But right now, we'll just take this break.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives, including the Isuzu Rodeo, Amigo, and the remarkably luxurious Isuzu Trooper.
Look out below as Shaq attacks the world of fashion and takes the wrap off his new act. Gear up with the Atlanta Hawks for your not-so-average night on the pond.
Anything about that gator, guys?
And rookie Sean Bradley exhibits his sweet tooth and wit in a visit with Willow Bay. Don't miss Inside Stuff. Saturday.
Now that's the inside stuff.
Doug, I want to see you explain how this play happened.
Well, this is Muggsy Bogues with the ball, and you can see they're trying to push him to the outside of the floor. He's looking. They're all got their eyes on Muggsy Bogues, and they're forgetting about this man heading right to the basket. They should never have let this happen. Actually, 4 defenders back right now, and Kenny Gaddison gets the layup.
Looks like a Joe Montana pass. Splitting the scene. 58-51 Bulls, 2:49 to go first half of play. Bulls shooting 60%. Not a lot of D from Charlotte.
Yeah, you said it, Bob. They're guarding no one right now at this point in time. That's going to be a foul on Alonzo Mourning against Cartwright trying to post. But right now, Charlotte thinking we're just going to outscore the Chicago Bulls. That's not happening because the Bulls not only are running against them, BJ's had a great first half, but they're also beating them on the boards 21-17. So Charlotte at halftime better get on their defensive sneakers.
Speaking of beating, Cartwright is doing that to Alonzo Mourning, just wailing on him down there in the low post. Pippen with 8 on the shot clock. Pulls up from 18. He looked for a pass there. Mourning only 2 of 6 from the line. He has 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 rebounds and 2 fouls. To give you an idea of what Alonzo is producing here.
Well, you know, when I saw him in the parking lot before the game, and I asked him, how you doing? And you know, he didn't have that, you know, that fire. I could tell he was not feeling right.
Big inside play by Kenny Gaddison, who has 9 points, and he has provided some muscle for this team inside. Pippen on the drive, he's fouled.
Scotty got away with one there. That would have been his 3rd foul. I thought that was an offensive foul. Very, very close. But the Bulls, there was 19 seconds on the shot clock when Scotty got fouled. So, but after the score, Bob, in 5 seconds, they push the ball length to the floor, and Pippen gets all the way to the basket for a layup. They've got to start stopping the ball. See, look where Scotty's at. That could have been very close to an offensive foul there.
That's the second on Kenny Gaddison, and Pippen will go to the free throw line, where he is only 1 for 6.
See if he pulls the string on this one. Scotty starts trying to guide the ball. It was a good stroke right there.
Pippen, interesting, when he first came into the league, you know, he couldn't hit anything from inside 20 feet, but he could can them from 30.
That's because he had to shoot the ball from out there, but to get the range on the shot, and when he got inside, he tried to really aim the ball and steer it, and you just got to shoot it and trust it. You can't be trying to hope it in the basket.
Doug, you were talking to Jerry Krause about the difference in these 2 Bull stars, Pippen and Grant, from your days with them as just young kids, and the fact that now they're seasoned veterans.
Yeah,
a lot of changes.
He said they categorize guys 3 ways. One is the guy who signs a pro contract, another guy who's a pro, and then the third guy who's a professional. And he said that Horace and Scotty have grown to be professionals, and I think that says a lot for them in their maturity. They're 2 big reasons, along with Michael Jordan and the rest of this team, why they've been able to win championships.
Chicago's biggest lead. Mourning gets the rebound and jams it.
I think his foul's going to be called, though. I think Bill Curry's going to shoot 2 free throws. I think he's going to be put to the line.
Jake O'Donnell had his back turned to Alan Bristow, and now he's talking to Ed Middleton. They're wanting this bucket.
Right there's the foul. That's the foul. Right. So Curry will shoot the 2 free throws, wipe away the basket by Mourning. It was a follow-up after the whistle.
Rookie Corey Blunt from Cincinnati steps onto the court. Bill Curry hits his first free throw. Coming up at halftime, the Reebok halftime report, Ernie Johnson in Atlanta with Dick Versace. They'll have scores and highlights of tonight's opening action, including New York at Boston. New York had an early lead in that ball game, and Sean Bradley's debut as the 76ers host the Washington Bullets, an improved team this year, and Sean Bradley, 7-6.
Important 2 minutes right now. Bulls have a 5-point lead. Let's see if they can keep it or extend it. Let's see if Charlotte can make a little run. BJ wanting to post up against Bo.
10 on the shot clock. This is where Michael would often go to work. Now it's Kukoc.
We talk about the bailout man. Now who's going to do it?
Armstrong shoots it at the buzzer. He did beat the buzzer. Bogues has him running. It's 4 on 3. Curry wants to pull up out to Muggsy.
Get it inside to Alonzo Mourning. Let him get another touch.
Percy Hawkins with the runner.
See, again, this the end of the quarters, the end of the half, big time in terms of tempo and swing. The Bulls need a good possession here. I think it's a smart play by Phil Jackson to call a timeout. He doesn't want all this good work to be thrown away in the last 2 minutes of this half.
It's a 20-second timeout, and Doug, this is something we were talking about on the opening, and that is your go-to guy. Often the Bulls would here get under control with Michael Jordan. He wouldn't necessarily be the guy to score, but he'd be the man to key a defensive play. He'd be a guy to make the stop or to work somebody for a shot or to get himself to the free throw line. That's gone now.
Yes, well, see what happens. The Bulls could do a job defensively on you, or they could use their offense to be a defense. And what I mean by that, they control tempo, use 18, 20 seconds on the clock, get the ball to a Michael Jordan or a Pippen. They would create, either get a shot for themselves or someone else, and it would deflate a defense. You'd play 20 good seconds and they'd score in the last 4 seconds. We'll have to see as the season goes along if the Bulls can consistently do that. Obviously, they can't replace Michael, but as a team, they're going to have to be able to execute. Here's a bad pass by Kukoc.
Hawkins with the easy layup.
See, that just can't happen. Now, all of a sudden, it's a one-point game. Remember, I talked about mood swings and swift swings in the score, and that was a 5-second violation.
And it's going to be Charlotte ball with an opportunity to regain the lead, and the Bulls have 9 first-half turnovers, and the Charlotte Hornets are on an 8-2 run with a minute to go in the first half.
You know, keep your eye on Hersey Hawkins trying to get loose for a 3-point shot here coming up from the top floor. I guess it's going to be Curry.
Yeah, Curry all the way from the baseline.
I know that out-of-bounds play. I've seen it so much from Allen Bristol. They try to free up a guy for a 3-point shot. Johnny Newman on the boards aggressively, but look at the floor. Look at the guys that are on the floor right now, Bob. You got Curry, Newman, Hawkins, Mourning, and Bogues. Again, 4 really small players are guards and 1 big guy. The Bulls have a big lineup, so Charlotte's going to continue to pressure them to try to create turnovers.
Loose ball foul is called on Stacey King, and Johnny Newman goes to the free throw line. It's tied at 60. Under a minute to go. First half of play from Charlotte Coliseum. You were talking about maybe 50, 55 points being scored in the first half. Look at this, 60-60.
Yeah, the Bulls last year gave up 99 points a game. So you can see right now that Charlotte thinks that they can outscore them. Now, we'll have to wait and see if they can wear them down for 48 minutes, but you're going to see defensive pressure here with those small lineups.
Steve Kerr is running the show. BJ at the 2 guard now. Kukoc trying to get a shot off the dribble. Clock down to 10. Now 7. Kukoc for 3. Hornets by 1, a chance to build.
Watch Hersey Hawkins now for 3. Kukoc is playing him, so see if they'll try to run him off some screens. I don't think Tony Kukoc can cover him. Let's see if he can come off a LeRon Ellis pick and maybe get a shot.
LeRon is 43 just into the ballgame. They tried to get the pick. Instead went the other way. Hersey Hawkins over Kukoc. Saved by Kukoc. He's an excellent passer, as you see. Kerr, Armstrong. Kerr takes it all the way. Big play for the Bulls. Under 2 seconds to go. Bulls by 1.
You got to throw it long to get a shot.
Not going to get it. Well, Bogues throws it. 62-61 Bulls at the first half of the post-Michael Jordan era. The 3-time defending world champions defending well so far here in a hostile environment in Charlotte, North Carolina.
But there's going to be a 5 to 7 minute period during this game where somebody's got to play defense. It's going to decide who's going to win or lose this ball game.
Turnovers in the first half, 9-7, and you see, as Doug said, the fast break points go to Charlotte, and Alonzo Mourning didn't even warm up when he came back out, Doug. He's got that wrapped right knee, and we noted that Alonzo was struggling in the first half with his mobility. 4 points, 3 rebounds. Mourning did have 1 block shot.
Well, they're going to need him, and they're going to need to go and tack inside. He only got 6 shots at the basket in the first half. He's need to work against Bill Cartwright. I think he can get his shot in there.
Scottie Pippen kicks it to Cartwright with the unorthodox jumper just out of his range. Hersey Hawkins off to Bogues. Bulls by 1 point. Second half at the Charlotte Coliseum. Another sellout here. They love this basketball and jam it. Of course, we're in basketball country. Larry Johnson out of UNLV with a lay-in. He has 12.
The Bulls are sinking defensively. They're not double-teaming him. So we'll see as the game goes on, maybe in the fourth quarter, if they choose to go back and double and make him give that ball up.
Horace Grant from 14. Line drive falls for Horace. Horace Grant in the first half had 8 points, only 2 rebounds, both offensive. Hersey Hawkins, that's a 2. He stepped on the line. He's got, excuse me, that was Johnny Newman. The shooters are on the floor. Newman, Hawkins, both can really drain it. By the way, we're having a little bad weather in our headquarters in Atlanta, and that's causing a little bit of problem with our satellite transmission. In case you see a little bit of a fuzzy picture here, we understand it will be okay. Larry Johnson scoring again.
Phil Jackson's going to take a quick timeout, sensing Charlotte looking to blow this open in the third quarter. They have a 3-point lead, and what you must do as a coach is you control tempo of the game with substitutions and with timeouts. Phil taking one here.
10:35 to go, third quarter. Hornets have built a 3-point lead. Big run-out basket for Charlotte here, Coach Collins.
Well, here's what happens. Scottie Pippen's right here. He's going to take the shot. He's going to chase it down, and his man's going to leak out on the fast break. And when he does, Charlotte is able to take advantage. Here comes Scottie. He doesn't get it. Now his man is open ahead. He takes the ball to the basket, dishes to Larry Johnson, who takes it to the other side for the easy score.
Hornets by 3. Only 7 on the shot clock for the Bulls. Myers trying to penetrate. Pull-up jumper. Rebound Hawkins. DeVoe has Newman on the wing.
The Bulls have to be careful right here. Charlotte's trying to make a move.
Oh, Johnny Newman.
This is where the defense comes in right now. Bulls need a good possession here. It's now a 5-point game.
Charlotte begins this quarter hitting their first 4 field goals, and they have the 69-64 lead. The whistle from Ed Middleton. Don Alonzo Mourning his 3rd personal foul.
See if the Bulls go right back at him one more time. Maybe Cartwright can pick up the 4th one. Force Alan Bristow now to come in with his bench, although Kenny Gaddison did have a nice first half. He had 9 points, but it's not the defensive presence or rebounder that is Alonzo Mourning.
69-64 Hornets. 9:54 to go, third quarter. This is the first of our doubleheader. Coming up later tonight, Gary Bender, Hubie Collins. Hubie Collins. I like that.
Let's like
go with
that.
And Hubie Brown.
I've always wanted to be a Hubie.
Doug will have the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. Muggsy on the run.
Hubie Brown, Hersey Hawkins for 3. Spotting up.
Bulls only 1 out of 5 to start this third quarter. Stolen by Pippen.
See, Mourning is not even getting back on defense. You can really see this is
He's really hurting. Foul on Charlotte. Bristow's going to have to get Alonzo Mourning out of the game. You'd think he's struggling. He's a warrior, Alonzo Mourning. He, by the way, worked out and beefed up some in the off-season, as cut as he is already, but that doesn't help that sore knee.
Great article in Sports Illustrated about the Georgetown Centers. I thought that was a very enlightening article about how they're all different personalities, but how they all band together.
B.J. Armstrong, this is the short jumper. LJ out to Bogues. Oh, good pass to Mourning.
That was a charge right there, Larry Johnson. Now, see, that's Pete Myers. That's a journeyman player, so that's going to be a get up and play on.
Horace Grant, jump hook in the lane. Bulls answer very quickly. 71-66 Charlotte. You think if that was 23 and LJ ran into him, there might have been a whistle?
Say, let's wipe that one away.
From 18, Mourning hits it from there.
That's 2 in a row now for Alonzo Mourning. 7-point lead for Charlotte. Bulls right now in danger of going down double digits. Got to be very careful at this point.
Cartwright working against Mourning, who's carrying 3 fouls. Good pass into Pippen, went to his left hand, missed it. Offensive rebound lost by the Bulls. Charlotte ball.
See, Larry Johnson's going out of the game right now. You say why? They're on a 7-point. They have a 7-point lead. They're on a little bit of an 8-point run here because they have to monitor his minutes. And Alan Bristow needs him for the last 8-10 minutes of the ball game. So now he's going to buy some minutes with him.
Mourning throws up a brick this time. Horace Grant with the defensive rebound. Herniated disc for Larry Johnson in the off-season, and he's playing with a sore back. He's trying to get back in game shape, but isn't yet.
What's happened, Bob, is he's lost strength in his right leg. And as a result, he's about 80% strength, and so he's playing really off one leg. You have to be very careful then you don't get a compensating kind of injury.
Ed Middleton said the ball went off Charlotte. It'll belong to Chicago with 10 on the shot clock. Myers sits down, and Steve Kerr gets into the ball game, and rookie Corey Blunt also in. He was impressive in terms of his athletic presence on the floor in the first half. Talking about Blunt as Grant rests.
Yes, and Steve Kerr gave them a nice first half with 9 points. So you see he and BJ both on the floor now together.
There's the pick and roll with Cartwright. Throws it away. Johnny Newman grabbed from behind by Steve Kerr just as they cross the midcourt.
All right, now the reason that's the key is because there'll be two shots now because it was in the front court when he grabbed him. Had he got him in the back court now, it would have been sideline out of bounds. There's the steal. Cartwright trying to create, and right there he's in the front court, so he'll shoot 2 free throws. So that's like diving for the tape after a sprint to get across half court.
And Johnny Newman will go to the free throw line. Johnny Newman with 16 points in this game. The quick forward for Charlotte. And your line on him is so true. He said he started Cleveland, played with the Knicks. Everybody says, you know, we got to get somebody to be better than Johnny Newman. We got to find a better Johnny Newman. I'll tell you what, I like his game.
Well, one guy we have not talked about along the lines of Johnny Newman is the reason it is because he's not a great rebounder, and Charlotte gets out rebounded, so the first thing they say is, well,
Sure.
Johnny Newman's not rebounding. Scott Burrell from Connecticut, a rookie on the injured list with a knee problem, they like him, and they've talked about having a front line of Burrell, Alonzo Mourning, and Larry Johnson to give them better rebounding.
A good changeup for sure. Steve Kerr off the dribble. He can shoot it.
Boy, he sure can. He's playing very well. He loves this triangle offense with Tex Winter. He's getting a lot of good shots.
He's 5 out of 5 tonight, and it is a 6-point Hornets lead. Gaddison, Bogues, Mourning.
The shot's there if Alonzo wants to take it. Now, Muggsy doesn't want it. He's a 29% shooter in preseason, so he doesn't want to shoot it. So now the clock winding down. Look for them maybe to run a quick play here out of bounds to get Hawkins or Johnny Newman a quick jumper.
They better do something that takes less than 6 seconds. 7:19 on the clock for the third quarter, 6 on the shot clock.
And watch Hersey Hawkins. Going to throw right. That's the play right there that they ran against Boston.
That won the game and eliminated Boston, but not this time. 74-68, Charlotte. Ahead to Blunt. Tried to power jam. Mourning got it, but then Cartwright follows with a basket and drew the foul. Did you see the block by Alonzo Mourning?
And that's with 3 fouls. That he committed a foul there. It's his 4th, and he's sitting down. So, see, Corey Blunt's going to wind up. Now, at Cincinnati, he's going to windmill that over somebody. Here, he's going to have to maybe do something else.
Rookie. Bill Cartwright goes to the free throw line, so he has a good opportunity here. He can pull the Bulls to within 3. Bill Cartwright. They called him Medical Bill.
I don't know how those legs hold Bill Cartwright. Those little skinny calves, I don't know how he even stands up. He's like a colt.
Your calves are big.
No kidding. I'd kill for those kind of calves now at age 44.
7 minutes to go, third quarter. Gaddison on the bounce pass from Hawkins. Loose ball controlled by Cartwright. Steve Kerr has him running. Horace Grant going to check back in a moment. Pull-up jumper off the glass, doesn't fall.
Missed 3 straight shots in the third quarter after being 9 for 11.
Bogues was careless with the ball, and Steve Kerr is mugged. We're going to get a jump ball.
I think it's going to be a 20-second timeout. Now, is it a jump ball or will it be Bulls possession? We'll have to wait and see what happens.
We have a committee meeting there between the officials, and they decided it is a 20-second timeout and not a jump ball.
Bob, I'm going to go on my little soapbox here. There's one rule I don't like in the NBA is when there's a possible change of possession. A guy's got the ball, he's falling out of bounds, and if he were not to call a 20, he calls a timeout. I think when a possible change of possession, I don't like that play right there. That's a jump ball, but that's the rule, so that's the way it's going to be. But I just think in this situation, you really take away a hustle play there like that, but for Bogues going in and getting a timeout or getting a jump ball, by being able to get the 20-second timeout. How many times do you see a guy falling out of bounds and he calls timeout real quickly to keep his team with the basketball?
Definitely a loophole. 6:40 to go third quarter. Hornets leading it by 3. Now they're trying to decide that maybe they'll do the 20 and a jump ball. Jake O'Donnell is going to have to step in, and Middleton is going to offer his opinion here. And, of course, any indecision like this brings the Bulls down in Charlotte.
What Blaine Reichelt is saying is he said the 20-second timeout was called before the jump ball, Bulls possession. So that's the ruling.
Jake O'Donnell explaining it to the scorer's table.
The ball is loose. Blaine Reichelt right here. You see his head right in the picture. Right there, he blows the whistle for a 20-second timeout.
Nevertheless, pulls back. Grant from B.J. Armstrong. Horace Grant adding some points to his total now has 14. Horace had only 8 at the half. 1 point Hornets lead.
Bulls have recovered nicely, down 7. They've cut it now back to 1.
On a 7-0 lead. On a 7-0 run, and that foul on Johnny Newman. Kerr picks up his third. We're talking about Muggsy Bogues and how many minutes he has to play in this ball game. It'll certainly be 40-plus, I would think, and he played 20 in the first half as we look. Trouble at the backup point position for sure.
Well, remember when he was out in the first half, they had no turnovers in the first 8 minutes, and they went to 4 in the last 4.
Newman fouled on the drive.
Excuse me, Bob. I was watching Scottie Pippen. He looked like he injured his foot again. He was a little gimpy as he was trailing the ball across the lane there.
That's 3 on Armstrong. Pippen, in the offseason, had surgery on his wrist and his ankle and has been re-injured in the ankle department here in the preseason. And as you said, has a touch of the flu. There was a question whether or not Pippen would even be able to go tonight.
Well, when we saw him in the shoot-around, he did not look good. Scotty did not feel well. It looked like the last place he wanted to be was at Charlotte right then, but he has really sucked it up nicely and had a big first half. I mean, 15 points and 12 rebounds, 4 assists. And those are big-time numbers.
And he is running gingerly on that ankle. So we'll keep a post on that as we're looking at the knee following it of Alonzo Mourning, who is resting on the bench now as Gaddison's at the center. Corey Blunt handing off to Steve Kerr. Inside Pippen. Triple team. He loses the ball. Johnson. Out to Hersey Hawkins. Kicks to Newman. Lost the handle. Tip in Gaddison.
When I talked to Alan Bristow today, he said, you know, Doug, our style of play is we got to try to think about wearing the Bulls out over 48 minutes. You know, it might not be where we want it to be at halftime, but right now they've pushed it back to a 5-point lead.
Count the basket. Good give and go with Grant and Corey Blunt, who gets to lay in and will go to the line. Larry Johnson called for the personal.
See, Larry,
3.
I'm sorry, Bob. Larry turned and looked, and when he did, you're taught to cut against the man's vision. So he cut right against the backside of his head, and Larry Johnson then with a little push to compound it. That was a nice play by Corey Blunt, a nice give and go. 2 power forwards, really, Horace Grant and Corey Blunt on the give and go.
Remember, love is never having to say your story. Was a song or a book?
Yeah, love story.
That ages us both. Hornets by 2, 5:25 to go in the third quarter.
When I start calling you preppy, I like that.
Newman, blocked by Grant. Kukoc on the run. Good open court player. Shovels Kerr lay in. Kukoc struggled in the first half, Doug, and let's talk a little bit as we go here and watch him in action as we go along about the transition he has to make from Europe to the NBA.
The speed of the game, and when you play fast, you get tired sooner. And so right now he's adjusting to that part of the game. Again, the Hornets get a little bit of a lead, and they have a tendency to start firing up quick shots. The Bulls now with a chance to once again take the lead. So Charlotte pushed it out with good defense. Now they're falling asleep and giving up some easy shots.
Kukoc rifles it inside, saved by Horace Grant. 10 on the shot clock. Kukoc from 10. Yes. From Corey Blunt, who's very impressive as a rookie here. We have a 20-second timeout called in charge to Charlotte. Chicago on a 7-0 run, and they have taken an 80-78 lead. Now the full timeout has been called by the Charlotte Hornets as they have lost the lead to the Bulls with 4:36 to go in the third. Opening night in the NBA. Bob Neal and Doug Collins with you here at Charlotte Coliseum. Bulls have regained the lead on a 7-0 run. A lot of scores tonight on opening night. The Chevy scoreboard shows you that the Knicks are handling Boston. Philadelphia in front of Washington. Atlanta leading Indiana in a pretty close one, fourth quarter at the Omni. It is Milwaukee out in front of Cleveland. I got to call that a surprise. And Orlando leading Miami at the half. Minnesota in front of Detroit. Big.
But Christian Laettner had a great preseason.
Klosky building some tough players up there with Person and Laettner.
Yeah, I like J.R. Ryder, too. I think he's going to be a great player. We see Larry Johnson with a muscle job in between 2-3 guys.
Tied at 80. 4:15 to go, third quarter here. Purdue in for Chicago. To Kerr. Steps on the line. That's a 2. Boy, Steve Kerr can drain it. He's 7 for 7.
Well, whoever Muggsy Bogues is playing is having a field night tonight. I don't want to pick on Muggsy, but Steve Kerr's got a big game. B.J. Armstrong.
Beautiful pass by Muggsy as he penetrated, drew Purdue away from Mourning, and then dished it. Kukoc being defended by Del Curry. Spin move, fall away jumper from the left-hander.
That's a nice play by Tony.
He looks like an athlete.
Boy, he took it, just spun right off his man defensively, made a nice play.
trying to run through some picks. He's getting some shots he hasn't taken before.
Well, see, Del Curry's just going to keep him on the move, and the minute he blinks, they're going to kick out to him for a shot. So Tony's got to be aware of that.
Bogues from 17. Muggsy has 5. Remains tied at 84. Will anybody stop anybody?
Well, they haven't yet. We'd like to say this is a great offensive performance. And look at Will Perdue driving right to the basket. I mean, the interior of the Hornet defense has been miserable tonight.
No question about it. And Alonzo Mourning is in the ball game along with Larry Johnson. Bogues is going to sit down, and Tony Bennett, the backup point guard, who came from Wisconsin Green Bay originally, playing with a sore left knee. He had arthroscopic surgery on it in the offseason, but then it just remained sore, is not healed like they had hoped. He is suspect defensively. Good perimeter shooter, good ball handler, but not a good defender.
Well, you know, when you look at the shot blocking of the Charlotte Hornets, I mean, Alonzo Mourning had 271 last year, put him 4th in the league. Larry Johnson, the next power player, had 27. So, I mean, if Alonzo's not blocking it, then somebody's going to the basket, and if they're not scoring, then they're getting offensive rebounds. They gave up the most offensive rebounds. So we talked about in the opening the interior defense, Bob, and the rebounding, and that's been real keys. The Bulls are shooting about 57% in this game.
Call the newspaper. Purdue hit them both. Will Perdue sinks the free throw. Will got married in the offseason. Lovely woman named Jennifer. That perimeter shot from Hersey Hawkins over the outstretched arms of Purdue, and Hersey has 15. The Bulls might want to come up with some kind of trade with Charlotte. Got all these shooters. Bulls need them. Purdue tries it off the glass.
See, you got him excited. He made 2 free throws. Now he's going to get out there where the coach is going to yell at him out there, and that don't take that shot.
Honeymoon's over, Will.
Right.
Tied at 86. Johnson into Mourning. Punched away by Purdue, but the foul is called on Will, his second. Tongue-in-cheek, Jerry Krause told me that as soon as Scott Williams got injured, Will came to him and said, I'd like to renegotiate. Yeah, well, not yet.
Boy, Scott Williams, they miss him, too. He should really be a help for them on the boards.
Curry for 3.
Now, you know what? That shot was taken. We need to hold that shot on a replay because Hersey Hawkins was in Curry's chest on that play. That was not what you would call great spacing on the floor.
Foul by Hawkins.
Bob, now watch this. Hersey Hawkins is going to come running over, and if we stop this right here, look at this. It looks like Hersey Hawkins is guarding Del Curry. He says, let me get out of your way. Oh, and he hits a 3.
That's the best defense we've seen from Hersey all night.
That's right.
Yeah, shooting my face, will you? Pippen gets it at the free throw line this time, and the Bulls pull to within 2 with 2:04 to go in the third quarter. At the half, the Bulls led it 62-61. Now have another 30-point quarter here. Scotty gets only 1 out of 2. Mourning with a rebound.
See, Scotty's starting to limp now, too. I don't know whether the more he's playing on this foot, the sore it's getting, but you see him now sort of hopping rather than sliding.
And the Bulls have to play tomorrow night in Chicago at the home opener, the ring ceremony game against Miami. So they don't have much time for the soreness to go away. See the grimace on Scotty.
The good part about it is Miami's playing tonight, too, so they'll have to travel. So the Bulls will get home, and they will have the home court advantage, although Atlanta spoiled their ring ceremony last year by stepping in and beating them.
Is Michael going to be at the ring ceremony?
Yes, he is.
He's home watching tonight.
At least everything I've heard is that Michael's going to be there, yes. And that was a foul off the ball by Tony Kukoc, the importance of not fouling when you're in the penalty, especially against the Del Curry, who's a tremendous free throw shooter.
As you see, 4-point Hornets lead. Minute 54 to go, third quarter.
Now remember, the last 2 minutes of the half got the Hornets back into it. Let's see the last 2 minutes here of the third quarter. Now they pushed it out to a 4-point lead.
Pippen inside the Purdue, stepped on the baseline, Charlotte ball.
Scotty's frustrated because Scotty made a great play and he made a great pass, and Will Perdue was not ready for it. That should have been a dunk. See if they go to Del Curry again. Tony Kukoc is playing. They're trying to go off 2-3 screens.
Looking for Larry Johnson, pushed way out near the three-point line. Good pass inside Mourning. Stripped away by Scottie Pippen. Going to call a kick ball on Alonzo Mourning. Gives the ball to the Chicago Bulls with 1:22 to go in the third. Hornets by 4.
If you notice how Scottie Pippen's limping, I hate to keep bringing this up, but watch him as he goes down the floor here, Bob. He's really starting to drag that foot. Now, I don't know how serious it is, but see if as he comes up the floor.
On the shot clock, Kerr to Tony Kukoc. Rookie Corey Blunt in the game for Purdue. Kukoc, nice move and shovel. Starting to see some of the talent that excited Jerry Krause and the Bulls about this young man.
See, he's 6'11", so Curry can't guard him on the other end, so this is going to be a match of who can score the most against each other.
Tony Bennett. I left my heart at Wisconsin Green Bay.
He's one of the nicest young men I've ever seen. He calls me sir. I said, boy, I've never been called sir before. Except for Chris. That's for extra allowance.
The Dukester is at the ball game tonight. They're about to start it up on the campus, aren't they? Durham?
Yeah, they have their inter-squad scrimmage tomorrow, so Parents' Weekend, I get to slide down there for the weekend.
You're going to do a lot of Charlotte games. I can see that coming.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk. There's a conspiracy that since Chris went to Duke, there's been an awful lot of Charlotte games on television, and Hubie's not getting any of them.
Thank goodness they're a good team. 93-89 Charlotte, 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Kukoc has the three. Said he's going to try to penetrate against Del Curry.
With that up and under move, that's that European play. I thought he got fouled.
Percy Hawkins came over with no whistle. Pull up from Curry.
You need to hold it out for one, Bob. You need to hold it out for one shot. There's no time.
14 seconds in the period. Hornets with a 4-point lead. They trailed by 1 at the half.
Got to get into it quickly.
Del Curry, open shot. Hawkins, wave it off. They didn't get into it quickly enough. No basket. 93-89 at the end of 3 quarters. From the Hive in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hornets have built a 4-point lead. We enter the final 12 minutes from Charlotte. Coming up right after this one on our season opener doubleheader on TNT. Gary Bender, Hubie Brown, the Phoenix Suns at the Los Angeles Lakers at the Forum. You're talking about Scottie Pippen's ankle bothering him, Sonny, at 15 at the half and 1 in the third quarter.
Yeah, he did not get it going. And B.J. Armstrong, I don't remember him scoring at all in that period. So with Pippen and Armstrong only scoring a combined 1 point after 36 in the first half, the Bulls still only trail by 4.
Charlotte's starting to out-rebound the Bulls, too, which is an interesting
So that's where it turned. They outscored them by 6 points in that quarter, and they out-rebounded them by 5. So that's the way.
Wave off the basket. Excuse me, Doug. Mourning drove to the hoop, wanted to get the 3-point opportunity. Was fouled by Stacey King, who's into the ball game, as Phil Jackson looking for help at center. You know, he was planning to start Scott Williams at center so he could limit the minutes of Bill Cartwright. It's really changed his plans when Scott got hurt.
Well, I told Bill today when I saw him at practice that you've gone from being a playoff luxury to a regular season workhorse again. So.
Mourning, fade away.
No rebounders underneath. You fade away, and there's not one person under there to rebound the ball.
Kukoc with the defensive board. Into Horace Grant. Gaddison trying to defend him.
Horace is upset. He started to shoot. The ball was knocked loose. He passed it instead of taking the shot. There's going to be a technical foul now here also. Gaddison with a technical. But Horace, when you hear that whistle, you'd like to shoot it, but the whistle came just a little late, Bob, so he couldn't get the shot off. He passed it instead.
Armstrong will shoot it. BJ shot 80% plus in the preseason. Excellent free-throw shooter. $22,000 at the Charlotte Coliseum in the season opener here. Charlotte built a 6-0 lead as the Michael Jordan-less Bulls came out. Struggled a little, still looking for an identity, still looking for combinations. Charlotte, with the addition of Hersey Hawkins, Mourning returning, and Larry Johnson, a lot of expectations here, and they played well offensively as we expected, but not great defense here tonight. Not surprising.
guy who's going to have to deliver, Stacey King. He can score some points. He's not even looking at the basket.
Steve Kerr with 5 in the shot clock has to force it. Kukoc with a big board, double clutch. Tony Kukoc.
Great move by Kukoc. He hung in the air, went past the outstretched arm of Alonzo Mourning. So Kukoc coming to life now offensively.
He has 10. I think he's going to be an entertaining ball player. Tony Bennett steps on the baseline. Chicago ball trailing by 1.
When you have not played much, as Tony Bennett, he's been out, you keep it simple. You don't try to do too much. Right now he's playing too quickly for the shape that he's in, and he's getting himself caught in trouble with some turnovers. So he just got to make the simple play, Bob.
Stacey King isolated against Mourning. Kukoc for 3. Not this time. Alonzo Mourning pulls it down. He has 5 rebounds.
How much longer now will Alan Briscoe stay with this lineup before he looks to come back with Bogues and Larry Johnson?
Eddie Johnson looking for a shot against Kukoc. The Mourning, 10 on the clock.
He likes to go right. He's got
Lost the handle.
Got no lift on his shot right now. Did you notice that? He's
Absolutely.
not getting up.
And you can see him struggle as he runs down court. B.J. Armstrong gets the lay-in. B.J. did not have any points from the floor in the third quarter and has 24 in the game now.
And he has a technical free throw on that layup. Look at Mourning now. He's outside taking a jump shot.
1-point Hornets lead. Hornets have only beaten the Bulls 3 times. Stacey King losing concentration and the ball. Bulls have an 18-3 series lead, as you would expect from the world champions against an expansion team. But this is the year you have to stop calling them
Yes.
Miami, Orlando, Minnesota expansion teams. Now it's big boy time.
Yes.
Bennett. Nice play by Bennett. Doesn't get it.
See, no one's covering back, though. B.J. leaks out. That's who was guarding Bennett. No one gets back, and it's a score. So when your point guard penetrates, see, you've got Eddie Johnson who thinks score and Del Curry. Neither one of those guys are going to get back.
Bulls have reclaimed the lead now on the 26 points from B.J. Armstrong. Curry.
That's a tough shot. He had 2 guys hanging on him.
Ice water, shooter's mentality, a lot of things you can call it. Del Curry's got it.
Well, who's going to start guarding somebody here, Bob? It's a 1-point game, 8:46 to go. Who's going to make the first defensive stand?
Mourning with a rebound. Alonzo playing on that sore knee has been a factor here in the second half. Eddie Johnson is fouled on the drive.
Kukoc getting a little winded. See if Phil Jackson maybe gives him a minute or 2 and then brings him back for the last 6 minutes, but he just didn't move his feet that time, reached in. And a little bit of that European mentality, too, where a guy beats you and you try to wrap around from behind him and knock the ball loose.
A couple of finals. Philadelphia gets the win 94-82 over the Washington Bullets as Philadelphia really rebuilding. Moses Malone goes home, and 7-6. Sean Bradley had 8 blocked shots in that ball game.
Well, he's going to change the game. Look at this. Milwaukee winning at Cleveland. These teams with great expectations. You know, Milwaukee quietly going in with the speed and quickness, a small team. Cleveland getting 91 points. Charlotte here, you know, playing a game that many felt like that they would run away with, holding on now to a 2-point lead. So, you know, this Eastern Conference is going to be wide open.
And Mike Fratello understanding the stomach ache that follows the loss.
Oh, you got the great highs and the unbelievable lows.
Back in the saddle again, Mike Fratello at Cleveland, losing tonight. I would still like Cleveland, though, in the East. Ah, that's basket interference. That might have bounced in. Wave it off. Horace knows it. He is a born offensive rebounder. If it's not through the net, Horace is after it.
The amazing thing is, though, who's checking him out? It looks like Horace is on the defensive board there. You've got to get your body on him, and you've got to get him out of there.
That's the 14th turnover for the Bulls. They averaged that in the whole game all of last year on an average. Gaddison drives for the hoop. He's fouled. Bulls down by 2. That's 3 on Pete Myers. Played in Europe the last couple of years. Been with 5 NBA teams, CBA. Started his career with Doug Collins. He's an excellent defensive player.
Yes, he
He's a
is.
player who has limited abilities, and if you take advantage of him, he can be a contributor. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He can get you to the line. He can play good defense. You need to have him on the floor with some good offensive players. The problem you get into him is teams will start doubling off of him, and they'll be the guy that they'll leave open, and he'll have to look to take the ball to the basket. So he's not going to hit a lot of jump shots, but he will play very good defense.
Gaddison with the free throw, and it's a three-point Hornets lead. 7:56 remaining in this ball game. Now, this is the time where Michael Jordan often would go to work.
Yeah, you would look over and say, where's 23? It's about time for him to make his move. Well, now it's getting down to crunch time for Chicago. Who will they go to tonight?
8 on the shot clock, looking for somebody.
See, that's what Pete Myers wants to do. Take it right to the basket.
There you go, and he did and drew the foul.
Yes, that's his strength.
In that sense, reminds me a little of Darrell Walker. Defensive player,
Yes.
no range, but can take it to the hoop.
Yes, and see, this is where you have to know. See, Tony Bennett's got to step in there. There's got to be some rotation. They just ushered him to the basket for a three-point play. You can't give Pete Myers three-point plays off layups like that. And we got a tie ball game. So that's a big move now.
So we wondered who would step up, and it was the guy who
Pete
replaced
Myers,
Michael.
those number 20s. You got to look out for him.
We should have known. What if he wears it on a chain around his neck? What do you think? Tony Bennett?
They really bogged down here.
7 to shoot. Curry. If in doubt, I'll take it. Chicago ball tied at 99. Bulls a chance to reclaim the lead.
See, the Bulls have great championship experience. You look out there, you got Pippen, Cartwright, Horace Grant, and B.J. Armstrong. Now, you're missing, obviously, Michael Jordan, but great championship experience. They'll make smart plays. Charlotte has got to gear it up defensively here.
Bulls showing some character here tonight. It's got to be a tough adjustment play without Michael in the season opener. A lot of mental questions. Pippen from way downtown because the buzzer was about to expire. Remains tied at 99.
Yeah, they let the shot clock get away from him there.
Charlotte gets the timeout with 6 minutes, 42 seconds remaining in the game. Team fouls. Bulls have 3. Charlotte 2.
The Celtics want to know is what's up in Philly. 7'6" rookie sensation Sean Bradley. The Celtics and the Sixers. Wednesday at 8 on TNT.
Time for tonight's Dutch Boy in the paint. And the Hornets, surprising me, frankly, have taken the lead in rebounding.
Yes, they have, and interestingly, now Scottie Pippen in the second half has only attempted 2 field goals, 1 for 2 from the line. He has 1 point and 1 rebound after a 15-point, 12 rebound first half. I have to think that his foot has started to bother him. We've talked about it before. He's jumping around, but someone else has picked up the slack. Tony Kukoc has scored, Steve Kerr off the bench. Horace Grant, somebody stepped in during stretches here, and that's what's going to happen with Chicago. It's going to have to be a collective effort. It's not going to be one guy being able to take up this kind of slack.
And a little bit of the flu, that'll take it out of you, too. And Scotty was feeling very bad at the shoot-around this morning. Tied at 99, 6:32 to go in this ballgame.
Larry Johnson back in the game for the finish.
Newman, the lean in.
Tough shot.
Rebound, Horace Grant. Armstrong will set up the play.
Very quiet in here, Bob.
Armstrong from 18. Cartwright chases it down. Good effort inside to Grant. Credit it to Cartwright. The aging legs chasing it over to the sideline. Bulls by 2. Charlotte had almost assumed a victory here tonight. Talk about fans.
Well, remember Alan Bristow talked to us before the game tonight. He said, I'm worried about our mental approach. Are we going to come out here and really play, or are we going to say, well, Michael Jordan's not here, it's not going to matter? So this game's starting to tick down now. You're talking about under 6 minutes right now. The Bulls have the lead.
And they have the advantage as Gaddison's on the floor on the other end. That was a 5-4 offensive advantage, and it's 103-99. Bulls by 4 with 5:30 to go, and the Bulls on a 7-0 run.
Charlotte's giving up 2 layups here.
Intensity lacking, no question about it. Foul on B.J. Armstrong. And Alonzo Mourning and Hersey Hawkins will check back in for the Hornets. Last 2.5 minutes. Charlotte has failed to score, and this is a scoring team.
Bob, when you start getting the preseason publicity that this Charlotte team got, all this great expectation, I mean, there's more pressure on you, and they're going to feel it at home more than any place else. So when they get down a little bit, these fans are going to let them know they expect more than this.
Muggsy Bogues penetrates, dishes to Larry Johnson, misses off the glass. Foul called by Ed Middleton.
I think he called inadvertent whistle there.
Exactly.
So the Bulls score here. It's a 6-point game with under 5 minutes. See, Muggsy Bogues is a little gimpy now. See if they go back to B.J. Armstrong.
And Phil Jackson wants to get B.J. Armstrong out of the game because B.J., when he picked up foul a minute ago, picked up his 5th personal. 3:45 has gone by in this game, 3 minutes, 45 seconds, without Charlotte scoring. So I guess the Bulls have turned up some defense. Cartwright, the jump hook off the glass, and the Bulls showing that championship character. 105-99. Timeout, Charlotte. We wondered who would step up for Chicago, and the answer has been whoever's been on the floor at the moment.
What do you do after you introduce...
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. The Bulls by 6 with about 4.5 minutes to play. We'll send you back to Charlotte in just a second. Thrilling finish in another Central Division showdown tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. You talk about immediate dividends being paid. Ken Norman, the former Clipper, his first game, obviously, in the new Milwaukee Duds. And look at this, three-pointer to break a 91-91 tie with about 7 seconds to go. That's the game winner. The Bucks 94-91. Norman leads everybody with 24 points. Now let's go back to Hive Drive. Bob?
John Battle got 22 for Cleveland tonight. 105-99. The Bulls by 6, 4:39 to go. Charlotte looking for any kind of offense.
So they've broken down offensively and gone one-on-one the last 3 possessions. Again, to Larry Johnson, who's going to try to create. Now you're going to see the double teams come when he puts the ball on the floor.
Now 6 on the shot clock. Newman with a very difficult shot. Pippen with the rebound.
So they've come to a skill. Remember we talked about defense. The Bulls have clamped them down now over the last 5 minutes. They've been scoreless in about the last 4.5 minutes. That's what I talk about, that 5-7 minute spurt of defense.
And Charlotte making a little bit easier for them, frankly, with the offense they're running. Pippen is fouled on the drive. Johnny Newman.
Remember we talked about Alan Briscoe saying that we wanted to wear the Bulls down. Well, they had 61 points in the first half. The Bulls had 62. At this point in the second half, they have 38 points. So Charlotte is the one that has hit the wall, and the Bulls have really done it by clamping down defensively as they've tried to go one-on-one here in the last 4.5 minutes.
So New York got Boston, and Atlanta gets a win at home against Indiana. They needed that, as they pointed out, because the Hawks know they have to face a tough road stretch. Now, after that home opener against Indiana, that basket is waved off. The foul's on Armstrong, and he's out of here.
Yes, that's a big play right there. B.J. Armstrong will have to sit down now. See if he pushes off with his left arm. Let's watch. Right there, he lowered his left shoulder. That's a big play. The Bulls should have gone up 8.
28 points, matching his career high for B.J. Armstrong tonight. $105-99 Chicago. 3:56 to go. Steve Kerr in at the point now. B.J. Armstrong to the bench, and Kukoc is going to come out on the floor.
See, I think right now what Charlotte's got to do is they've got to get some movement. They've got to create movement rather than maybe trying to set up a play for one specific guy.
Kukoc, Pippen, Kerr, Cartwright, and Graham on the floor for Chicago with a 6-point lead.
Now, see here, they're moving the basketball. They should get a good shot this possession.
Running that passing game now.
Guys are cutting and moving without the basketball.
Percy Hawkins in trouble, in traffic. 5 on the shot clock. That's a 2. Bogues runs it down. Johnson kept it alive. Percy Hawkins missing again. Mourning runs it down. 2 offensive boards. Mourning's going to pound it inside. He draws the foul. More intensity without question. Percy Hawkins generally is going to hit those shots, but he only shot about 29-30% in preseason also, trying to adjust to the transition from Philadelphia to the passing game here at Charlotte.
Now the importance now, Alonzo Mourning's got to make these free throws. Last year he shot free throws very well. He got to the line over 600 times, shot 78%. So he needs to cash these in. He still have 3:23, plenty of time.
First time for Alonso at the line tonight, indicating the lack of getting the ball inside to him.
Now, how many free throws has Larry Johnson shot tonight?
Chuck Gardner, our ace statistician, is looking up how many free throws that Larry Johnson has shot tonight. It's been 5 minutes and 2 seconds until that free throw.
Well,
Guess how many he shot.
Well, this tells you about your power game. Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning have attempted 1 free throw on the game, and that's this right now. So, again, these games are won, Bob, when you've got a game that's going along, they're won by 5 to 7 minute stretch of defense. The Bulls held them scoreless for 5 minutes, took a 6-point lead. Now it's down to 4. Can they hold it out?
Some full court pressure applied here, kind of a floating defense thrown at Chicago. Hawkins on Pippen trying to run a little clock, and they start their offense with 16 on the shot clock.
Now, Chicago, not a good free throw shooting team. They should not be allowed to get a layup.
Pippen loses control of the ball. We have a foul on the drive, though, called on the opposite side of the field from Jake O'Donnell. It's against Charlotte.
You look out on the floor right now. Steve Kerr is the only good free throw shooter. Pippen is in the 60%. Kukoc is in the 60%. We see the drive here. There's where the foul is called. The ball actually was lost. Horace Grant's in the 60%, and it's Cartwright. So if you're Charlotte, the one thing you cannot allow to happen is a layup or an easy score. You must take the foul to take your chances of maybe getting a 1 out of 2 situation, or maybe somebody missing them both.
That was 4 fouls on Hersey Hawkins. Pippen only 40% tonight, 4 out of 10. That one doesn't go. Make it 4 out of 11.
This is where This is where the Bulls in close games this year could be haunted by their poor free throw shooting. They were able to play through it last year. They shot 73% as a team.
Getting Pete Myers on the floor for Kukoc now. The Bulls have Grant, Cartwright, Pippen, Myers, and Steve Kerr on the floor, nursing a 4-point lead. Pippen trying to build it to 5.
Now, Pete Myers comes in for defense. You see probably a sideline out of bounds play, maybe Kukoc in for offense. But Scotty just straight armed that one.
Going to get a jump ball. That call from Ed Middleton.
Double lane violation, jump ball.
My, oh my.
Now this really hurts Charlotte, because
Yeah.
if Cartwright can control this tip, you now have 24 more seconds. I didn't know that was a jump ball. I learned something tonight.
Me too. First I've seen it. Double lane violation, jump ball. Ed Middleton called it. They're jumping it. After all these years and all these games.
Well, Alonzo Mourning's got to control this tip. He's got to tip the ball back to either Hersey Hawkins or Muggsy Bogues, and he's got to get up quick, because Cartwright's a veteran. He'll try to steal the tip.
So will Myers.
See, Cartwright to get up and get the tip. You bet.
Exactly.
So that's a big call right there, that lane violation. You're going to foul. You don't foul Steve Kerr. It's a moving screen on Cartwright.
Yep. 2 shot. That's called on, yes. Flagrant foul is the call. Now there's 2 levels of flagrant foul. Flagrant foul 1 and 2. This is a 1, meaning 2 shots and the ball out of bounds for Charlotte.
But he got him with a shoulder, I guess, and an elbow, but I didn't see any really intention in Bill there. Now this is important. This is 2 shots in the ball.
And the ball, yeah.
So this could be a 4-point play.
And it is a 4-point game, 105-101. Charlotte hanging in here. Hersey Hawkins, great free throw shooter. He'll probably get them both.
We could be in for a real wild finish here, Bob, so buckle it down. It's 2:52 to go. B.J. Armstrong out of the game. They're going to miss his veteran leadership out there in his shooting.
B.J. Armstrong fouled out with 28 points. Hersey Hawkins missed it, but it's the ball out of bounds to Charlotte on the side.
See, when you look at the Bulls out there, both of their guards, this is a new system for them. Both Steve Kerr and Pete Myers were not on the team last year, so they're running a new system. So look for Scottie Pippen really to be the guy to initiate the offense.
Good point. Look at that play by the defensive specialist, Pete Myers. So it won't be in the box score, but it was big.
Out of the flagrant foul, Charlotte gets 1 free throw.
Trailing by 3, 2:33 to go. Hawkins on Myers. Myers with the drive. Big bucket.
There's Air Petey with the steal.
Bogues kicks it off to Hawkins.
You got the steal on one end and the score on the other. You can't blink, though, when you're playing Charlotte. They'll retaliate on you quickly.
3-point game. Crowd on their feet here. Hersey Hawkins commits the foul on Pete Myers. That's his 5th. 2:11 to go in the game. Bulls by 3.
See, that was an intentional foul almost. They're banking on Pete Myers missing at least one of these free throws. And again, you look out there, Pete Myers, Pippen, Grant, Cartwright, 4 poor free throw shooters, and Steve Kersey. You do not foul him.
Myers has made his presence felt here tonight. Has 8 points. The man who replaced Michael Jordan in the lineup for the Chicago Bulls has hit some key baskets. And those statistics, 8 points, 2 assists, don't tell it all. He's also played well defensively. 1 out of 2.
No block out on the free throw.
Amazing. 108-104, Bulls by 4. 2 minutes to go. Timeout, Chicago. The rebounding there hurting Charlotte. Their lack of defense hurting Charlotte as the Bulls were able to put on a real clamp on the Hornets for about 5 minutes and build the lead that they're still holding on with 2 to go. 2:05 to go in the ball game. The Bulls holding on to a 4-point lead. Let's set it up for you in terms of timeouts and fouls to give and what's remaining here in the ball game. Both teams are in the penalty. No fouls to give. Bulls out of 20s. Hornets with 1. Both with plenty of timeouts.
Yeah, they're in good shape timeout-wise. The problem is now Chicago's got the ball coming out of the timeout. You talk about fourth quarters. Charlotte 3 for 13 after shooting 56% for 3 quarters. Talk about the defense. Chicago still shooting at 62%. Let's see who they go to try to create a shot. Pippen's going to post against Hersey Hawkins. That's the old Michael Jordan play where you look like you could come off a double screen and you can reverse it and post up quickly. So
Hawkins, excuse me, has just fouled out.
Well, you lose now his shooting and his veteran play. You come in now with Johnny Newman, who's played well, but he does not have the perimeter shot that Hersey Hawkins has.
Hawkins gave him 18 points tonight. The Bulls are getting Pete Myers back in the game and Kukoc off. Obviously, as you're talking about that, Doug, that's an offensive-defensive switch. When there's a dead ball, that gives Coach Phil Jackson a chance to get the defense on the floor now and Kukoc out there when they need the basket.
Well, see, Phil played for Red Holtzman, who was a master of that, the offensive-defensive substitution. Well, Scotty canned a big free throw there after missing his last 2.
5-point Chicago lead. Charlotte has frankly played flat tonight.
Yes, they have.
Alan Bristow was fearful of just that happening. You get this missed free throw. Chicago almost captured that rebound.
Well, this is a must-score possession now for Charlotte. They've got to get something, either a couple free throws or they could try to set up Del Curry coming off the pick.
Johnny Newman with the penetration.
Boy, that's a
3-point opportunity.
That's because that makes it a 1-possession ball game now if he can convert the free throw.
Minute 42.
Nice quick move on the baseline. Horace Grant goes for the up fake, just straightened up just enough for Johnny Newman to make the quick move on the baseline. Watch the up fake now here, and watch Horace straighten up. Right there, you see him just straighten up just a moment. In this league, that's all you need to get open. That's just one little quick move to be able to get past on the baseline.
How about fate playing a role in this game? Hawkins fouls out. Newman comes in, immediately converts a 3-point play. It's a 2-point Bulls lead. Here's some floating pressure, the double team.
Again, you don't give up a layup, Bob, under no circumstances, and you don't foul Steve Kerr.
10 on a shot clock. Pippen. Cartwright with 4, 3, 2, Grant. Big bucket at the buzzer.
Big basket by Horace Grant.
Bulls by 4. Minute 15 to go. Newman spots an opening on the drive. Doesn't get it. Johnson loses it out of bounds. It's going to be Charlotte ball. Last off Chicago. Minute 10 remaining. Charlotte trailing by 4. Almost stole.
feet. Quick move, Bob, to the right. And then the slow recovery by Horace Grant to get to the weak side. Again, free throw shooting so vitally important. This would be an opportunity for 2 consecutive three-point plays.
Morning to the free throw line. Excellent free throw shooter. Pippen picked up the personal. Third three-point play. It's back to a 1-point game. 56 seconds remaining.
Boy, the Bulls, Charlotte scrambling here defensively. You got to be very careful not to give up a wide-open, uncontested shot.
10 on the shot clock. The ball is loose. Charlotte ball. Down by 1. Larry Johnson.
And he made the big basket last year to beat the Bulls. Nobody under there at all to rebound. That's a bad shot.
Ball is knocked out of bounds. There's going to be a foul first on Newman. That's his fourth. That doesn't matter at the moment. 28 seconds to go. Bulls walk the length for a free throw with 28 seconds remaining. Larry Johnson took an ill-advised shot here. That started all of this play. And there's the reach in by Newman. And Pippen goes to the free throw line.
See, that's that shot. Remember, we talked about the Bulls now in the fourth quarter are 2 for 5 from the line. Big free throw there by Scottie Pippen. Remember, Larry Johnson started the game making the outside jump shot. And as a result, he has not shot one free throw the entire game. He's lived on the perimeter. Now, how much of it is it that he has weakness in his leg and his back? But that was an ill-advised shot there when they could have taken the lead.
Pippen 7 of 15 from the line with 2 big ones. Doesn't matter what his percentage is to hit those 2. The Bulls with a 3-point lead, 28.3 remaining in the game. And if Charlotte has anything, they have perimeter shooters. Bulls by 3, and Doug, it's significant that 28.3 seconds remain.
Well, you only have 4 seconds to get a shot off, or less than 4 seconds if you want to go 2 for 1. I don't think it's a good percentage right now, nor do I think it's a good percentage to run a set play to get a 3. If a 3 presents itself by a good 3-point shooter, I think you take it. Normally, teams will give you something going to the basket so they won't foul you. I like to attack the basket here, and if you have to, you can foul to give yourself a chance to get back into this game.
Just moments away from going out to the West Coast.
But he got to get it in first. Wow.
20-second timeout called by Charlotte.
20-second timeout, Charlotte.
And no time off the clock. So we'll stay here, and Charlotte goes over to Alan Bristow to talk about what they'll do offensively here. Once again, 28.3 to go. So you have to think they're looking to get off a relatively quick shot for the 2 for 1.
If they're going to do that, but I don't think that's a high percentage play unless you can get a lob or something quickly, because if you miss that shot, the Bulls now can really run it out. They're up 3. So I think you have to be very careful. You got to get something good. Bob, if it takes you 10 seconds, 12 seconds, you've still got anywhere from 10 to 16 seconds in the ballgame. That's an eternity with timeout.
If you're a good defensive team, as the Bulls have been the last 3 years, you can go ahead, take your time. If you turn it over with a lot of time, you've got the pressure and an opportunity to cause the turnover.
Right.
Charlotte really doesn't have that reputation.
No, they don't. Now, they can score, but
Del Curry, quick shot. Missed it.
See, got the quick one now, so they really don't have to foul. They ran it for a 3-point shot. Curry got a good look at it.
And that's the 5th foul on Newman.
See, Bob, I've never been an advocate of with that kind of time remaining to try to shoot a 3, because what happens is even if you score, the Bulls have the last possession to win the game.
Anyway,
right.
So you don't gain a lot.
Right, and if you miss, what happens is then you have to foul. And if the guy makes 1 or 2, now you're down 2 possessions. And Scotty missed the first, and if you get this one, you're now down 2 possessions with 22 seconds to go in the game.
Pippen, 19 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, but he is 7 for 15 from the line. These are big.
Do they call timeout, or do they push it in transition here?
He gets 1 out of 2. It's a 4-point game. Bogues is pushing. Curry launches a prayer and hits it. It's a 3. Back to a 1-point game.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That is amazing.
Ice water.
That is amazing. Guys hanging all over Del Curry.
As I said, if Charlotte has anything, they have perimeter shooters.
People care about the world.
2 3-pointers in the game for Del Curry. Absolutely no contest.
Well, look at this. You've got Heatmeyer's trailing him, and you got Steve Kerr. They both jump. Quick release. I just missed one the previous possession, but again, that shooter's mentality. You keep firing away. Bulls must get the ball in. Look for them to try to get it into Scottie Pippen. And then Charlotte must foul immediately. You do not want Steve Kerr to touch this ball if you're Charlotte. You've got to keep the ball out of his hands. He's the only, what you consider, good free throw shooter on the floor.
Pete Myers has to throw it over the windmilling Alonzo Mourning. He's got to call timeout, and that'll have to be a full timeout if Chicago has no 20s remaining.
See, the one thing, you're Pete Myers. It's your first game back. The last thing you want to do is throw this ball away on the inbound. So you're going to take the cautious way out, and you're going to call timeout.
15.7 seconds remaining. We'll be right back to the Beehive. The Bulls by 1, 15.7 to go as the Bulls will try to inbound, and now Scottie Pippen.
I like the strategy. Smart move by Phil Jackson. You got to think Scottie's going to begin. Now, he likes to throw it in and get it back. Oh, my goodness.
They're fouled.
Oh, was that close.
And who did they foul?
Yeah. You got to put 2 guys on him and not let him catch the ball. He's going to make both of these the way he's shooting the ball tonight.
Steve Kerr goes to the line. The Bulls have only shot 62% tonight.
Look at that pass, though. I mean, Scottie throws it out there. That's one of those sideline out patterns where the guy's trying to keep both feet in bounds and catch the ball.
Bulls by 1, 14.6 remaining. Kerr at the free throw line.
Now, if you're Alan Bristow and they make 2 of these free throws, do you call timeout or do you use the full court and push the ball up and try to get a 3 in transition?
And Kerr misses, and here's an interesting point. Even though he's a good free throw shooter, that was his first attempt tonight.
He didn't look like he shot that with a lot of confidence. He tried to guide that one in the basket.
That means even if he makes it, there's 14.6 left, and it'll be a 2-point Bulls lead.
Well, if he misses, Charlotte's got to rebound the ball. They have not done a good job of that.
He hits it. It's a 2-point game. Charlotte calls timeout with 14.6. Now Coach Collins. Let's talk about Charlotte.
I get something going to the basket. I want to go to the basket, maybe get a 3-point play. I don't want to do too much isolation. I don't want to settle for a medium-range jump shot. I want to get something going, and if the defense collapses and you've got a Curry spotting up on the perimeter or something, and you kick it out and you shoot a 3 to win the game, that's fine. But I think you've got to get something attacking the basket. Still 14.6. You attack, you miss, you still foul. 1 of 2, you're down 3. A 3 still ties the game for you.
The Bulls by 2 with 14.6 remaining in the game. Gary Bender and Hubie Brown are standing by, probably glued to their set watching this one, at the Forum in Los Angeles, where the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Lakers will tip it off right after this game is over.
Bob, I'm not so sure either with 14.6 seconds to go, although we are down 2. I'm not so sure I don't take it length to the floor and let Muggsy Bogues just penetrate and try to break the defense down. You get him in the half court, you take away from his effectiveness because now the defense is going to be packed in. In a full court situation, you might be able to create something easier, although you do lose time on the clock.
Alan Bristow, you see this from the beginning of the game? He's developed additional gray hair here tonight.
Now, Mike Dunleavy tonight grew hair.
Yeah, that's right.
And his is getting gray, and Mike Fratello's is curly once again. So.
Mike Fratello is saying, you know, I didn't feel like this after those games with Marv.
Right.
Although he might have. 14.6 to go. Bulls by 2. I have to say something about the Bulls here. Tremendous questions with Michael Jordan not being in here. I think this team has shown 2 things to me tonight. One is that they are playing hard and with character, and some people wondered if they would with Michael gone, frankly, and that they are still poised.
Well, they're going to be poised. I mean, this is a championship team. Obviously, you know, Michael Jordan was the nucleus and the building block of all that, but this has been 6, 7, 8 years of togetherness with a team. They know what each other wants to do on the floor. You bring in a Steve Kerr, he's going to make the heady play. The big thing is going to be now, they cannot sustain any kind of major injury. That's going to be a real key for them. They've got to stay healthy.
All right, 14.6 to go. Bulls by 2. Charlotte inbounding. Johnny Newman will trigger the play. No fouls to give, of course.
Remember now, you got to get the ball inbounds. That's the first thing you got to be able to do. You got to get it in.
Larry Johnson just barely got it. Down to 10. You see the time in the bottom right.
Isolation play for Larry Johnson. They call this their Dallas play.
He loses it. It's going to be Chicago with a victory here, almost certainly. 4.5 to go. Let's not write it completely off yet. Steve Kerr is shaken up on the play on the far sideline. You see him kneeling down there in front of the bench right there.
Larry Johnson's overdoing a little talking on the bench over there. I don't know, he said something to somebody.
A round of applause from the Bulls players as Larry Johnson keeps on walking. They isolated Larry Johnson, as you said, what they call their Dallas play, and he couldn't get it going. It's stripped from him. Watch.
Well, they force him to spin. He loves to spin, and they run in behind him right there. That's good defense, and he just throws the ball off Steve Kerr's chest. And you know what? With a good back, I'm not so sure Larry Johnson can beat Horace Grant off the dribble. And again, you're getting into that isolation stuff, and the Bulls have stopped that tonight.
Pippen, 8 of 17 from the line, goes to the line. Now, there's 4.5 left. If he's to miss one or both of these, there'll still be a chance. Now it's a three-point game. This is a big free throw here. Charlotte is out of timeouts.
Well, if he makes it, the game is over. Now, you also think about if he misses it and you're up 3, you maybe make him use 2 seconds and give a foul to where you can't get a three-point shot off. You know, a lot of different thoughts on that. Coaches are afraid to do that. They're afraid a guy might make one and then the ball kick out and you get a 2-pointer or whatever. I always think the odds are against all that stuff happening to get a 3-point play.
Bulls by 3. This is a big free throw for Scottie Pippen, who is 9 of 18 tonight, 50%. And he does miss it. 4 seconds to go. Bogues running up field very quickly. The pull-up from long range. It's good! At the buzzer! The Charlotte Hornets tie the game. We have overtime.
Bob, I told you to buckle up. That's why I don't like to let him get the 3-point shot off. That's the only thing right there that can beat you.
Johnny Newman hits about a 25 to 30-footer at the buzzer.
If they would have grabbed him right there, right then, and not let him get the shot off, it's only a two free throws. The game is over.
Remember the playoffs. Craig Hodges, Trent Tucker, when you were coaching. Foul him, don't let him shoot it. He shot it. It's overtime. 5 minutes more coming back. Save. The Beehive is alive. At the buzzer, Johnny Newman with a 25-footer, and it would have been relatively easy to have fouled him here and sent him to the line for 2. Phil Jackson told him at the last timeout, we understand, to not foul and to not let him, to foul and to not let him shoot a 3. Well, you've told him before also.
Yeah,
you know where that
that's
is.
why I'm sitting here.
With a smile on your
Because
face.
they didn't listen to me.
Either. How many coaches could say that?
Oh, boy.
It's tied at 116. Just amazing. Johnny Newman, who's had a whale of a ball game tonight. He has 27 points, but of course those 3 are the real meaningful one. Now, remember, let's set a couple of things, Doug. B.J. Armstrong fouled out. He's out of the ball game. Percy Hawkins is out of the ball game. And Steve Kerr will run the point. Muggsy Bogues is in there to run the show for Charlotte, and Charlotte basically has their team. They've got Curry, they've got Newman, they can score.
I'll tell you, the whole key right now is Charlotte must channel that emotion from that shot, and they've got to jump on the Bulls here in the overtime. They can't allow the Bulls to score 2 or 3 baskets here and get a lead again. You've got them down a little bit right now. Now you've got to score and take away their heart. You've dispirited them a little bit right now.
Larry Johnson. He has struggled. Still has that sore back. Johnny Newman has it. Bogues is open from 18.
He's not going to make that shot. They're going to give him that shot.
Johnny Newman called for the foul. That's 6. Johnny Newman, the man who hit the buzzer beater, is out of this ball game. But again, they've got the weapons in this position. Eddie Johnson comes in for it.
There's the foul right there by Johnny Newman. A little bit of a touch foul, but it was still there. Now you've got Eddie Johnson in the ball game, so they're now down to their third really perimeter player. Newman gone, Hawkins gone. So you now have Del Curry and Eddie Johnson. This weakens your defense right now. Neither one of those guys stellar defenders, so let's see if the Bulls can take advantage. Pippen's being played by Eddie Johnson. That's a mismatch.
Kicks to Cartwright, who has that shot on the baseline from the penetration of Pippen. Bulls by 2, 4:26 to go in the overtime. Newman fouled out with 27.
See, they got a real problem right now. Who's going to guard Scottie Pippen? Scottie Pippen now is being played by Eddie Johnson. Scottie can beat him on the drive. He can take him right to the basket and create shots.
Other defensive problems. Bogues on Steve Kerr. Johnson with the height disadvantage to Grant. Matchup trouble. Pete Myers, however, is the guy who gets the shot off. Rebound Mourning, not what Chicago wants.
Now, Pete trying to do too much there. That's not his game. Now, that's Eddie Johnson's game right there. That's why he's in the ball game.
You bet. It's tied at 118.
See if that trade will pay dividends, not only with Hersey Hawkins, but Eddie Johnson. Here's the problem, though. Eddie Johnson and Scottie.
Mismatches everywhere, except for maybe Curry and Myers. 8 on the shot clock. Horace Grant, the turnaround.
See, Larry Johnson's not even getting his hand up on defense. I mean, he's not even posing a problem defensively for Horace. Horace is just turning and shooting the ball.
3:19 to go in the overtime. Bulls by 2.
Remember, Larry is supposed to only play 32 minutes tonight.
Yeah, you can tell that he's suffering out there. Looking for Mourning down low against Cartwright. Triple team. Bogues open. Got to shoot it. 16-footer. It falls. He stepped in, which was a wise move.
He didn't want to pull the trigger. He was hoping someone would rotate at him and he could make the pass.
Tied at 120. 2:52 to go in overtime. Game number 2. Phoenix and the Lakers coming up as soon as this overtime is over. Sounds like Yogi Berra. Pippen. Fenced by Eddie Johnson. There's the double team on Scottie. 4 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, Kerr. Down low. 1. Bulls don't get it off.
They got to score. Charlotte's got to score. They've got to take the lead. They've allowed the Bulls to jump out and always have the 2-point lead. They must now score on this possession.
Tied at 120. 2:31 remaining in the overtime. Look at this. Bulls 17 turnovers. Hornets only 12. Muggsy Bogues looking for help from Alonzo Mourning. He pulls up, misses this one. Again, not the shot you want. You got shooters out there. Eddie Johnson, Del Curry. Kerr.
There's the shooter.
Kept alive by Mourning. Eddie Johnson. It's 3-on-2. Johnson pulls up from 17. Yes, it's a 2-point Hornets lead with 1:57 remaining.
When's the last time they've led in this game? It's been a long time.
Pippen on the drive past Johnson. The reverse, no. Big rebound, Larry Johnson.
Watch Eddie Johnson. Watch Eddie Johnson spotting up.
Curry. Bad pass. Open for the shot, looking for Eddie Johnson. Threw it right into the teeth of the Chicago defense. Pippen catches him napping, takes it to the hoop, and is fouled hard.
Scottie went 1-on-4. Cartwright had not crossed half court yet. Went 1-on-4, and Alonzo Mourning fouled him. Del Curry passed up a wide-open shot to try to throw it cross court to Eddie Johnson.
Amazing. 5 personal fouls now on Alonzo Mourning with 1:31 remaining in this overtime. Hornets lead it by 2, and here comes Scottie Pippen to the free throw line. He is 9 of 19.
Scottie shot 19. These will be his 20th and 21st free throws.
With only 9 points on it.
Wow.
He had a big one here to quiet the crowd. Can tie it with this one. Pippen playing on the sore ankle, touch of the flu. It's been a real struggle for Scottie tonight as he's had a tough night all night long with his health. He's got 22 points. To go with 16 rebounds. He ties it. 1:31 to go in overtime.
Boy, Charlotte's had a chance to go up 4 or 5. Allowed the Bulls to tie the game. Now it gets down to execution. When we're on screen roll, Mugsy's going to slide underneath it and try to force him to shoot that jump shot once again.
They leave the opening for the drive. Bogues misses it. Runs down the ball. Big hustle play by Tyrone Bogues.
Muggsy shot more in the last minute than he has in the entire game.
Timeout called by Muggsy Bogues. That's a good point. It's tied at 1:22. Minute 7 to go. We'll be back to Charlotte.
Is the choice of America's teams.
Tied at 1:22, 1:07 to go in overtime. Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you here. Gary Bender and Hubie Brown standing by in Los Angeles, where the Phoenix Suns and Lakers are about to do battle. We'll be going to that game immediately after this one's over. Here's the situation. Chicago with 3 full timeouts. Charlotte with 2 fulls. No, 2 full timeouts. No fouls to give.
Well, here's the hustle board. It's dead even as the score. Muggsy Bogues has taken 8 shots in the game, 4-minute overtime, and Charlotte's only attempted 6. So he's attempted 4 of Charlotte's 6 shots.
Down to Larry Johnson in the low post. The spin move out of bounds off Horace Grant. Charlotte ball, 15 on the shot clock.
They're going to Larry Johnson, and he's trying to make that spin move, and guys are running in behind him. They're clamping him. He's got to be aware that once he turns, someone's going to be coming in behind him.
And Horace Grant, you know, he's a nightmare for Barkley sometimes. You know, on that low post with his size advantage.
And long arms. And Larry Johnson's only 6'5".
Eddie Johnson, not this time. Look at the rebound from Mourning. He's fouled hard from behind by Cartwright. And Mourning will go to the line. 55 seconds to go in the game. Mourning goes to the free throw line. Here's the miss by Eddie Johnson. Nobody blocks out Alonzo Mourning. He got inside of Cartwright, who had to hack him from behind. Alonzo is 3 out of 3 from the line tonight. Hasn't even been there many times. Neither is Larry Johnson.
If I get a 10-second count here. Missed the first one.
Ooh, big miss.
Charlotte on the game now is 19 for 25. That's 76%. Chicago 22 for 35. 63%.
Alonzo Mourning walks away all the way to midcourt to get his composure as Kenny Gaddison comes on the floor to give some more meat and muscle here to try to claim this rebound and play some defense and give some inside strength to the Hornets, tied at 1:22. A chance to take a 1-point lead with 55 seconds remaining. Mourning has 18 for the game. Hornets by 1. Here's the pressure.
Charlotte has no fouls to give, though, so any foul will be 2 free throws by Chicago.
Crowd on their feet, waving those white handkerchiefs in the background. It's noisy now.
Larry Johnson now on Pippen. Tough shot.
Air ball collected by Del Curry to Muggsy Bogues. 36 seconds to go. Hornets by 1 point.
If they score here now, it puts you up 3.
Timeout. Charlotte. Wow.
That's a tough shot by Scottie Pippen. He had a hand in his face fading away, barely caught part of the backboard.
Big defensive effort from Larry Johnson on Scottie Pippen. We'll be right back.
As your engine revs higher,
B.J. Armstrong is out of this ballgame. He fouled out in regulation for the Bulls. Hersey Hawkins and Johnny Newman have fouled out for Charlotte. Charlotte leading by 1. Chicago got a timeout. They'll have the ball.
Well, again, the first thing you must do is get the ball inbounds. If I'm Charlotte, I might go to Alonzo Mourning, let him step out on the floor against Cartwright. You know you can at least get a shot, or maybe to an Eddie Johnson coming off the screen. They get to be very careful isolating Larry Johnson against Horace Grant, but the first thing they must do is get the ball inbounds, and it's very difficult. Scottie Pippen at 6'7" will be on you, and then he'll probably drop off and play in the passing lane.
Eddie Johnson will inbound. Charlotte has the 1-point lead and the ball. Muggsy Bogues. 25 seconds to go in the game. Running down at the bottom. On the shot clock, 7 seconds.
Get it up.
Now 5. Larry Johnson over Horace Grant. Rebound Pete Myers to Kerr. 12 seconds. Hornets by a point. 8 seconds. Pippen timeout. And now the Bulls get the timeout. Charlotte really didn't get anything good, worthwhile off on that offense after the timeout.
The NBA on TNT has been brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a taste, smoothness, and drinkability you'll find in no other beer. Proud to be your Bud. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? It's more than a question, it's an answer.
Well, it's Michael Jordan time. It's something we might have said last year.
Better call Highland Park, Illinois.
The Bulls trail by a point, 7.5 seconds to go in the ballgame. They call timeout with the ball. Good question here is Scottie Pippen unquestionably is the man now, although he struggled. 0 for 5 from the floor in the second half, 6 of 16 in the game. If Pippen inbounds it, as you've often said, look for him to maybe get it back.
And trying to make that big turn around the corner. If you're Charlotte, again, you don't give up a layup, and you force someone else other than Scottie Pippen to beat you.
And
there it is,
back
right
to
there.
Pippen on the drive. Cut off, pass inside. Pete Myers! Tip in Horace Grant! How many times have we seen that? During 0.2 of a second left. Doug Collins, while we're at the commercial, exactly, we didn't have time to get it in on the air, but Doug said, if Pippen gets the ball back in, takes the penetration, what you got to really watch for is Horace Grant's incredible offensive rebound.
On a second shot, there's the play. They get it back to Scotty. They like to run that play. Pete Myers is forced out of the shot. Both guys come over, which leaves no one on Horace Grant. Two guys tried to block the shot.
And fraction of a second left. There's not going to be an opportunity for Charlotte here.
It has to be a lob. 3/10 or under. It has to be a lob to the basket or it doesn't count. Bob, I wish I would have said, because we were talking in the timeout, and I said, watch Horace Grant for a second shot.
Well, everybody trusts me. It was pointed out to me, so I was watching for Horace, who got the off. He has 7 rebounds in this game, far below the kind of rebounding you would expect from Horace Grant. 22 points, but throw it all out the window because that was a major offensive board. Some good intensive defense there by Charlotte, but they left Horace Grant uncovered on the double team on the interior, and now you see with only 2/10 left, Chicago's going to steal this ball game and get out of here with a win to open their season and go back to play Miami tomorrow night in Chicago with the ring ceremony game there. And speaking of that, Charlotte has to play tomorrow night too. They travel to Milwaukee. Milwaukee upset Cleveland.
Milwaukee might sneak up on some people this year. Last year, they got off to a great start. I think they were 10-3 and then limped in their last 69 ball games. But this Charlotte team, it's very interesting. If they lose this ball game on a tip-in,
wow,
I think it will send a message to them that they better shore up their rebounding if they're going to make a serious run at the Eastern Conference. I know it's only the first game, but they've got to do a job rebounding the basketball. Now, Will Purdue's going to check in the game. He's going to be all over the ball. Coach, probably put 2 guys on the ball. No, just 2 guys are on the ball here. And the only thing that can beat you is a lob to the basket, or if you try to run over a guy setting a screen and foul somebody, which if you do that, they would have to cart Phil Jackson out of here.
Curry will inbound the ball, trying to get his distance there, his space, as you would say. There's the lob, up high, hits the rim. Bogues throws it up. The Bulls steal it from Chicago. The Bulls steal it from the Hornets, 124-123. With the tip-in by Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen. We're going to call him our player of the game. It was an incredible performance by Scottie Pippen with the injured ankle here tonight. And he struggled from the floor, he struggled from the line, but he showed heart, and I think you got to say leadership.
Yes, he did. And he wanted the ball, even though he didn't shoot it well. He was willing to have it in his hands, and he made the play.
All right, they're underway out there in the Forum in Los Angeles, so we're going to get you right out there to Gary Bender and Hubie Brown. The final score here in overtime, Chicago beats Charlotte 124-123. For Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal. Good night from Charlotte.
Get to know the people of Europe with a U.S. airline that flies to more European cities than any other. Delta. We love to fly, and it shows.